high-quality gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is...
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Rory McIlroy and Ludwig Åberg tied for second at the U.S. Open, 1 stroke back of leader Sam Stevens as the first round continues from Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. 5 strokes off the lead is Scotty Scheffler. During the Knicks' historic championship run to its first NBA title in more than 50 years, Jalen Brunson was pretty quiet, publicly at least, regarding his critics. At today's celebratory parade, Brunson hit back at his doubters.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions, but when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them.
Knicks star and NBA Finals MVP Jalen Brunson. NHL cleared Mike Babcock to coach again, opening the path for the Oilers to hire him. League recently investigated Babcock's resignation from Columbus almost 3 years ago. He left the Blue Jackets after his request to look at personal photos from players' phones drew criticism. Brendan Sorsby dropped his lawsuit against the NCAA, making him ineligible again and ending his college career because of gambling. He has officially applied for the NFL's supplemental draft.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, the vibes around the Dallas Cowboys are extremely high right now. So what do they need to achieve this year in order to prove themselves? We'll talk about it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are not at the Raising Cane studio today. We're at the Spine Center in Baton Rouge and thrilled to be here with our friends from Spine Center. Always hospitable and glad to be hanging out here over the next 3 hours. We got Cam Jordan's contract details that we are going to sift through. The high school coach for one of LSU's premier signees, Terrence Smith, he'll be here in a bit. LSU running back commit Trey Martin in 1 hour. Lloyd Peever, former LSU pitcher, today elected to the College Baseball Hall of Fame. He will be here in hour 3. We have a ton to do. So let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So the big news is the Saints wrapped up mandatory mini camp a day ago was that Cam Jordan was there. Cam and the Saints agreed to a contract, a 1-year deal. Cam was out there on the practice field. We all sort of anticipated what that contract would be like, a low dollar amount with an incentive-laden deal, much like the deal he signed a year ago with the New Orleans Saints. Well, now we know the terms of that deal, and it's exactly what we thought it was going to be. Hat tip rap sheet, Ian Rappaport on X had this earlier today. So Cam has a 1-year deal with a max value of $11 million. So, excuse me, the base is $7.5 million. So he'll get $615 in a signing bonus, and then $135 in the base. That'll be the base value of his contract, and then he has up to $3.5 million in incentives. A year ago, Cam's deal was about $1 million less than that one, but 6.5. So they're giving about $1 million more guaranteed base with the opportunity to get to 11.5 with SAC incentives. Great deal. If you're the New Orleans Saints and you look at Cam Jordan entering year 30, his age 37 season, his 16th season in the NFL, a guy who, as we've really documented here, has been declining ever since 2022, had a very nice season a year ago, but still playing roughly half the defensive snaps of the season as a rotational player. You don't pay him like a starter. You pay him like a rotational backup. And you give him incentives that if he becomes really productive like he did a year ago, his contract can be more valuable. So I'm not moving off this spot at all. It's exactly what we thought all along. Hat tip to the New Orleans Saints for being fiscally responsible, for sticking to their number as they often do with free agents, and then hat tip to Cam for having the humility to accept this contract and accept where he is in his career, and then the opportunity to come back and finish his career in New Orleans, which, although he didn't say it, this is very likely the last year of his NFL career, and he'll play this final season, his 16th in New Orleans, and that's awesome. Look, Cam in his career has made $146 million. Okay. To be exact, $423,840 in career earnings. Now, look, there's taxes and agents' fees, and we all understand that. But the bottom line is, dude has made 9 figures playing football. It's not that Cam is hurting for the money. It's about respect and knowing your value in whatever it is that you do. And that's true for quite literally everyone. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. If you're excellent at what you do and you feel like you provide value for the company that you work for, you want to be compensated accordingly. That's just reality. Cam and the Saints went through that. They had to balance what they feel he was worth. He had to balance what he feels he's worth, and they came to this agreement. Look, if the market spoke differently and Cam had an opportunity like Demario Davis did with a multi-year deal with guarantees with the Jets, the market spoke, and the Saints weren't willing to pay Demario Davis with the Jets were. Now, I hate that because I think Demario Davis was worth every penny of that deal had the Saints given it to him, but they decided to go for a guy that's nearly a decade younger, less productive, but a decade younger in Caden Ellis. That's what they decided to do. And here they've made it work with Cam Jordan, which is great. So Saints wrap up mandatory minicamp. Now they get to sort of just go for about a month. The team gets to go do their own thing for a month. Take a vacation, get your body right for the start of training camp at the end of July when everyone sort of reconvenes. And when the next time we see the Saints all together on the practice field, it's going to be at the start of training camp, and it's going to be a dramatically different feeling than a year ago because, of course, a year ago at the start of training camp, you had Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler, I guess, and to a degree, our guy Jay Kaner with his glamour shots out there battling, but I think we all knew the reality there. But it was Shough and it was Rattler battling for the starting job, and that was really the crux of camp a year ago. Now it is just it's given. It's Tyler Shough's team. He's the starter. And so now it's about Tyler Shough using this next month to prepare himself as best he can for his first full season as the starting quarterback for the Saints. And when Shough met with reporters as they broke for minicamp, he was asked, by the way, about Cam, because there was a story going around there that Cam told that Tyler Shough was just pestering him all offseason about returning to the Saints. Here's what Shough said about it.
Yeah, we were texting all throughout the offseason. I don't know who was pestering who. He was sending me some stuff and all his derby days and all the things that he was doing, man. I could tell just he wants to be here. He understands this is his place, this is his home, and he's been such a great leader and influence for me, being from the same hometown, who he is as a person, his impact on the community, and I can't be more happy to have him back because he just brings that element for this team that you can't explain.
You know, it's Cam being back is awesome, but we got to see Cam play a full season a year ago. The other player that's back that's notable is your starting center and Eric McCoy making up that battery. And probably something we, hands in the air, haven't talked enough about is how important that is. Because remember, Tyler Shough started the final 9 games of the season, so he didn't get to play with Eric McCoy. We had Luke Fortner in there at center a year ago. So this is going to be a new battery mate there as well for Shough. Now, Shough, in preseason, all no doubt in camp, got to work with McCoy. But as far as being his battery mate in-game, in-season, this is going to be new, and Shough talked about having McCoy back.
I mean, I think he just adds that extra veteran element where he's seen a lot of football. He's been great for me because him and I, even though we didn't get to play together, we were around each other every single day, going to O-line dinners. And, I mean, we had our son born within 24 hours of each other, so we were at the hospital together, and, I loved him. So he's been great for me, just to be able to learn and talk with him. For the whole O-line group, I think it's kind of just that solidified position.
That's awesome, man. I didn't realize the story about their sons being born at the same time and being at the hospital together, which is really cool. Life experiences will certainly create a bond. And I think the other thing that's really important about Shough is, I mentioned this next month, these 4 to 6 weeks, right? The team will have now to break, right? Go. Now, Tyler Shough lives in New Orleans, but you want to go take a vacation with your family, go do it. But make sure you come back for camp, body right, ready to go. So for Shough, he was asked, okay, for you, what are these next 6 weeks like?
Yeah, I'll be in Oregon, and then I'll be in San Diego. Drew's kind of helping set up our QB wide receiver throwing retreat, so we're getting all the guys to come down there and being able to just work and bond together. And then for me, it's just kind of continue to study the playbook and then just put my feet and my eyes in the right position. That's my whole focus. And right now, this OTA phase, you're not necessarily getting full speed padded reps, but you're installing all these new plays, making sure we're getting everything right. And I think we've done a really good job of that as a team, and we've gotten closer. That's kind of the main thing. We just highlighted in the team meeting room all the fun things that we've done this whole offseason, and this is probably the tightest bunch that all of us have been around.
Cam Jordan is back. Eric McCoy is back. Tyler Shough is the unquestioned starter. You've added a legit number one wideout weapon in Jordan Tyson. There are 2 questions that remain to be answered in this offseason for the New Orleans Saints. Number one, what is going to happen with Alvin Kamara? The consensus is he is not playing this season under his current contract. So does he take a pay cut? Did the New Orleans Saints cut him? Does he retire? I don't know the answer to that. But that's something you would assume is going to be rectified in the next 6 weeks. And then number 2, do the New Orleans Saints get an extension done with Chris Olave? He could certainly play this season on the final year of his rookie deal, having signed, the Saints having picked up his 5th-year option. He could play this year on his 5th-year option and become an unrestricted free agent after the season. Or do the Saints get ahead of it and get this done before the season starts? 2 big questions about premier players for the New Orleans Saints offensively that still need to be answered, very likely before the Saints hit the field for training camp coming up in late July. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Our show open every day, is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU, and the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Summer is here. Man, you're going to be out at the beach, hanging by the pool, maybe just spending some summer days at your favorite watering hole, going out to eat with the family when the kids are out of school. Make sure you grab a delicious ice-cold Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, today's show is here at the Spine Center, and we're thrilled to have you aboard with us. Do not live with back pain. Put back pain behind you. Here, Spine Center, the great docs can help you make that a reality. SpineCenterLA.com. SpineCenterLA.com is the website. All right, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. When we come back, I'm excited about this conversation. Terrence Smith is a big 4-star offensive lineman that committed to LSU earlier this week. His coach, Dom Diadana, is going to join us when we come back next. Tell us a little bit about what LSU is getting in the big 4-star offensive lineman. We'll get to that next here on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at Duplessis Pools, where a major congratulations are in order. For the 2nd consecutive year, Duplessis Pools has been named by Pool and Spa Magazine a top 50 pool builder in America. What's more, Duplessis Pools was the only pool company in Louisiana to earn that designation. So it's not just my opinion telling you I think they're the best pool company in Louisiana. You can look at Pool and Spa Magazine awarding Duplessis Pools that honor for the 2nd consecutive year. One of the top 50 pool builders in America. Derek Duplessis, as I often tell you, an engineer by trade. He'll build you a beautiful pool that will last. They stand by it with a 10-year workmanship warranty, and you can start designing that pool right now at DuplessisPools.com. Get to the website at DuplessisPools.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team
that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
I'm Lloyd Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Rolling along on a Thursday edition of AFR from the Spine Center here in Baton Rouge, and glad to have you aboard with us. Lane Kiffin and his staff on an absolute recruiting heater. 9 prospects committed here in the last 10 days or so, and among them, big 4-star offensive lineman out of Lansdale in Pennsylvania, Terrence Smith, who popped for the Tigers earlier this week. His head coach, Dom Diadonna, there at Lansdale, is good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Coach, it's a pleasure. Thank you for the time. How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm doing great.
We appreciate you for taking the time. Let me just start with sort of an obvious one. What makes Terrence Smith such a highly sought-after prospect?
Well, a 6'6", 280 probably has a rising sophomore. I mean, you can't coach size. You know what I'm saying? He's very athletic. You notice him right away on the football field, whether he's playing offense or defense, and he's going to do good. He's going to do some good things for LSU, that's for sure.
How did, as best you know, how did LSU get in the mix? Because it's Pennsylvania isn't typically an area that LSU recruits very heavily.
To be honest with you, I think it was just through Terrence's popularity throughout the conference, or throughout not only the conference, throughout other colleges. I think they do their due diligence. They don't let any stone get overlooked, and I think they did a great job of recruiting him.
Let's talk a little bit about Terrence, the football player, and then we'll talk about Terrence, the person. You mentioned the size, 6'6", 280, and you said you can't coach size, which is obviously true. What attributes in his game stand out? What's his best traits?
His athleticism. He's played a couple different positions up front for us on the offensive line. He's played guard. He's played tackle. He's played right tackle. He's going to move. He started at left tackle, moved to right tackle, moved to guard. Obviously, he can fit in anywhere because he's very adaptable. He's very he's got a great football IQ, he knows how to adjust his position, so to speak.
Dom Diodano is our guest. He's the head coach at Lansdale there in Pennsylvania. He's Terrence Smith's high school coach. If I asked you what you think as a young guy he still needs to work on, where do you think the biggest room for improvement and development is?
I think because of his injury in his sophomore year, I think he needs just a little bit more strength to his body. He's got great length, in his arms and all. He's got to be able to continue to work and develop on the process of really getting finishing off plays.
It's interesting. You mentioned an injury as a sophomore, and sometimes we got to remind ourselves, like, these are still young people at 16, 17, 18 years old that are going to physically develop and grow into their bodies. So maybe this is a hard one to answer, but I'll trust your perspective. You said he's played all over the line for you there at Lansdale. Do you think he's listed as an interior offensive lineman? I'm looking at the Rivals page here. Do you think he maybe projects better as an interior player or as an athletic guy that can get out and play tackle?
No, I think he projects more as an athletic guy playing tackle because, in his early high school career as a freshman, he did play basketball. He moves up and down the court very well.
Yeah, if you got good.
He's got good feet. He's got good reactions. And it just goes to tell about his athleticism.
Yeah. One of the things you always tell, man, those big guys that play basketball, their quick feet and their soft hands typically translate well to playing tackle. Coach, tell us, if you would, a little bit about Terrence Smith, the person.
Terrence Smith, the person, is every bit a great kid. He's a great teammate. He helps his teammates. He guides his teammates. He doesn't see himself above and beyond. He's just one of the guys, part of the family. That's how I see him.
Is, one of the things that I think it's a fair question to ask of every prospect nowadays is, are they willing to sit and wait their turn? When you have a guy that's a top 100 overall prospect in America, it probably anticipates he's going to go play. Is Terrence a guy that you think would be patient enough to wait his turn at LSU if he's got to do that?
I do believe he is. He's big, and he really wanted to know how he was going to be developed. Okay, and with the staff that he's going to go to in a year, I believe that he's going to get what he wants, and he's patient enough to learn more about the game at that level to wait his turn, so to speak.
Coach, how the Crusaders going to be this year?
Well, strength of us is going to be that offensive defensive line. And if we get if we can settle in on a quarterback, we should hopefully, be as successful as we were last year. Last year we went to the semifinal and state championship.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, Coach, wish you the best of luck with your team coming up here in the 2026 season. Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on you now with Terrence Smith heading for the Tigers, but playing another season there at Lansdale in Pennsylvania. Coach Dom Diodano, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for fitting us in today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Coach Dom Diodano there at Lansdale, Terrence Smith's high school coach. Good conversation there, good perspective. It's always good to get the high school coach's perspective on the prospect because they're with them so much on the field and off the field as well. I want to react a little bit to that. You can as well if you want to email us, tweet us, or text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We're here at the Spine Center today, and literally one floor below us is the Williamson Eye Center. So this building, if you're on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, if you're familiar, you turn off on a Picardy and you come up and make that first right at the stop sign. Well, the building on the corner, that building right there is where we are today. The third floor is Spine Center. So look, I tell you all the time, Dr. McCarthy, Dr. Herod, one of the things I love telling you about those guys, man, of course, Dr. McCarthy is from Michigan, went to Tulane and stayed. Dr. Herod's from here, went to Harvard, came back. So world-class physicians here at the Spine Center. Same as with Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center, just a floor below us. Dr. Blake's from Baton Rouge, is a third generation in this practice, left for school, went to Columbia in New York, went to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, spent time in London as well, took all these world-class experiences and brought them back to Baton Rouge to provide world-class ophthalmology here at home for the Baton Rouge community that he loves. So if you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Set up that consultation. I was walking up here past a full waiting room over there at the Williamson Eye Center on the second floor, which was awesome to see. WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. I'll tell you the two things that stood out most about the convo there with Coach Dom Diadana about Terrence Smith. One is he sees him as a tackle, because I look at the Rivals page and they have him as 6'7", 290. By the way, Coach said he was 6'6", 280. Rivals has him at 6'7", 290. I'm just saying. Anyway, he's listed as an interior offensive lineman, but his high school coach there says he thinks he probably projects more as a tackle. And you're talking about a guy who played basketball and get up and down the floor. I mean, you hear the one that sticks out to me all the time when I think about that is Emory Jones. Emory Jones was a dominant high school basketball player as well, not only because of his size, but he had great feet, soft hands. And when you're that agile with your feet and your hands, you're going to be really good out in space as an offensive tackle, because you can kick slide, you can get in front of a fast rushing end, you're good with your hands to get your hands engaged with somebody, move around. So that skill set translates to being a tackle, as opposed to being just a big dude, get your body inside of someone else's pads and move bodies. So I thought that was interesting. The other was, thinks he's a guy that'll stay. You know, it's one of the questions that I'm going to ask a lot of these dudes. We have Trey Martin coming up with us here in 35 minutes, the four-star running back, out of Winsboro, and Franklin Parrish, and that's a dude that's a top 150 overall player, and he's one of 3 running backs in this class now, and LSU's got 6 running backs on the roster, and guys like that, we've played the clip for you so much here on my Locked On LSU podcast of Lane Kiffin talking about how the staff evaluates high school players now and what they look for in character in guys, because guys don't stay. Well, they want guys that are either going to be immediate contributors or guys that are going to come here and stay, because the last thing in the world you want to do is pay a recruit, have them show up for a year, not play, and leave, and then you've just wasted that money from your cap, from your roster budget, however you want to phrase it. So if that's your approach, then you're either looking at guys that will be immediate contributors or guys that are willing to come and sit and wait their turn and grow and develop and stay. Now, you're not going to hit on 100% of those, but if that's the propensity of your class, then you're going to win more than you lose. Not on the field. I mean, you're going to win more than you lose with those prospect battles. So Terrence Smith, sounds like LSU got a really good one there from Pennsylvania. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. All right, let me knock out a break, y'all. We will come back. We'll go around the SEC. Muse will have that for you. Also, what else did I have in this coming up segment? I got to get you the latest on the Brendan Sorsby thing. So it's official. It is officially official. Filed the paperwork and everything for the supplemental draft. But my goodness, there is now a new public battle between Texas Tech and Cincinnati. There's attorneys involved and all this sort of stuff. We'll sort it out as we continue. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
RevFiber.com. REV. RevFiber.com. Go to RevFiber.com if you are sick of your internet. If you just get incensed like I do when you get the spinning wheel. Alondra got to see this a little while ago because Wi-Fi on our little hotspot wasn't doing so great, so she got to see me get really frustrated. I own it. All right, I'm a passionate person. You know where I don't ever have to worry about that? In my home. Because 8 weeks ago, whatever it was, 3 months ago, Rev laid fiber in our neighborhood. We immediately switched. Now I have lightning fast internet speeds, and I never have to worry about it going out when it's like the storm came through last night. Never have to worry about it because the cables are buried under the ground. RevFiber.com for your home, for your business, lightning fast internet speeds, home automation, security, a phone, cable, they do it all, and they are local, and they'll give you better prices. Rev Fiber. Why wouldn't you switch? RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
If you are in the market for a metal building, you have to know about Proform Steel. ProformLA.com, ProformLA.com, super easy, ProformLA.com. Doesn't matter if you need a big industrial building, maybe you're looking for a commercial building, warehouse, or you just need a metal shed in your backyard. It doesn't matter if it's industrial, commercial, residential. If you need a metal building, you want Proform Steel. Brandon Golson is the best. He's actually been on the licensing board. We all know his ethics. He's been in the game forever. This is the new entity. It's Proform Steel, ProformLA.com, ProformLA.com. One of the things I love about Proform Steel is they use American materials on everything. There are no exceptions. They use American material on everything and free delivery on every building. You buy it from them, they will deliver it for free no matter the size. ProformLA.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalVR.com.
Is there anyone who looks worse throughout the Brendan Sorsby situation than Cody Campbell? Now, he may not care because that dude sold his company for $4 billion and he could buy an island if he wanted to. I'm sure one of the tiny islands that's playing in the World Cup, his net worth is probably higher than the GDP of some of those places. So he may not care what you or I or any of us think of him. But just from a PR standpoint, ain't nobody look worse than Cody Campbell throughout this whole thing. That stupid 20-minute video they all did there at Texas Tech, and then Cody Campbell doing radio and television interviews, basically trying to gaslight all of us, and we're all just looking at him like, we're not stupid. I get it, you're rich, but we're not stupid. And if you missed this, he was on something called Everything Lubbock on KAMC TV on Tuesday, and he basically says that the decision not to play this year at Texas Tech and to go to the supplemental draft was Sorsby's decision, not Texas Tech. Give a listen.
We more or less ran out of time. He had to make a choice on whether he was going to stay in college or try to stay in college or go in the NFL supplementary draft, which is a very unusual thing that's done, but the deadline for that is June the 22nd. And with all the different legal challenges that were going on from the Big 12, potentially from other places, there was no way to know with certainty that he was going to be eligible or that there weren't going to be additional sanctions placed on Texas Tech.
So Cody Campbell said that it was Brendan Sorsby's decision to leave, saying that he didn't know if he was going to have eligibility, if there would be other sanctions or whatever. So Sorsby made the decision to not pursue the opportunity to play at Texas Tech this season and instead go into the, as you call it, the supplementary draft, the supplemental draft. It's okay. He pays for a college football team, not an NFL team. Anyway, enter Ross Dellinger today, who got a hold of the motion to dismiss from Brendan Sorsby's attorney, who filed this motion to dismiss Sorsby's case, right? Sorsby is the one who filed the lawsuit in Texas court to get the injunction, whatever. Sorsby's attorneys filed a motion to dismiss in Texas court stating Texas Tech informed him on Monday he could not play for the Red Raiders this season. Y'all, this is in a court of law. Now, we could talk about evidence and all different types of things that might come out of this. The bottom line is Texas Tech, the ones that pounded the table and talked about Joey McGuire, he didn't kill anybody. Joey, he didn't kill anybody. McGuire out there. Cody Campbell, they just don't want us to be good. The athletic director over there at Texas Tech out here trying to gaslight us into believing that this is what you do for your son because he's got a disease and an addiction, so you stand by him and get him the resources they need. Basically, Texas Tech on Monday were like, yeah, sorry, kid. All that stuff we said, that wasn't real. Like, we were just kind of hoping you get to play so we could win some games. So anyway, you got to go. You got to go. So we'll see you later. Peace. And Cody Campbell, meanwhile, 24 hours before this hits court, is up there on television in Lubbock arguing that Sorsby made the decision to leave. Like, there's an old saying, but by the grace of God, there go I. And, what if this were your school? What if LSU kind of did in a way go through this with Kayshon Boutte because we later learned that he had been betting, but it was after we learned all that after his time at LSU was done. But I'm not naive. It's so easy to sports bet, and I'm certain that Brendan Sorsby's not the only player in college football who's betting on sports. Probably not the only one betting on his own team. We just haven't learned all of them at this point. So what I would say sort of is a cautionary tale, if you're the fan clenching your fist and pounding the table, or the media member writing the op-ed, or the radio host screaming about it, you better be prepared to hold that line if something like this pops up with someone on your favorite team. Because, but by the grace of God, there go I. And if you think Brendan Sorsby's the only one sports betting, I got some oceanfront property in Bunkie I'd like to sell you. So keep that same energy. We're going to be talking about this with RJ Lewis, too, and y'all going to be really mad at me with that. It's a reality. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this it's not hump day. Y'all, I ain't trying to go backwards. I'm looking forward to that weekend. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems on this Thursday edition of AFR. Arco.com. So just yesterday, our first named storm comes rolling through. And look, there was high winds and heavy rain and tornadoes in southern parts of our state, and I certainly hope that everybody came through it okay. Seeing some of the flooding and some of the devastation from the tornadoes it's harrowing, but it's a reminder of what we talk about all the time and what we know. If we live where we live, and we know we're in the path of storms, and this is always a possibility. We hope there's nothing damaging that ever happens, but the worst thing that you could do is not have a plan. And the worst time to try to get a plan together is when the storm's in the Gulf or when it's bearing down on us. This is why you have to be proactive for your home, for your family, but also for your business, and that's what Arco Power Systems does. Arco has turnkey solutions to get you industrial Generac generator power. This is for your industrial facility, your commercial building, whatever business you run. If you need Generac standby generator power for your business, for your commercial facility, Arco. ARCCO. Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. They're the best. Home base is right on Airline Highway at I-12, but they service a giant multi-state footprint. North to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, all points in between. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Muso will take care of it today. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
Texas A&M Five-star linebacker Caden Henderson has committed to Texas A&M. He's out of Tampa. Picked the Aggies over Notre Dame and LSU. Missed roughly half his junior season a season ago. Still had 49 tackles and 9 sacks. Number 1 linebacker in the class of 2027. Number 4 player out of the state of Florida.
The Florida Gators.
Speaking of Florida, the Gators landed 2027 linebacker Trey Geathers. He committed on Thursday out of the state of North Carolina. They beat out Tennessee for the 3-star. Really picked up steam in his recruitment over the last 2 months. 6'2", 195-pounder, 45th ranked linebacker in the 2027 class. Florida's 23rd commitment.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss baseball has landed a commitment from Jacksonville State lefty Eli Pillsbury. He announced that earlier today. 6'2", 200-pounder, 4.07 ERA, and a 6-3 record. 89 punch-outs and 77 1/3 innings pitched. He's expected to step up and contribute on the weekend for Mike Bianco's Rebels.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas, if we go back to football here momentarily, they landed at a safety out of Texas. That is Kevin Grant, announced his pledge to the Razorbacks here on Thursday. 6'1", 195-pounder. Chose the Hogs over Tulsa, UNLV, San Diego State, and North Texas. Also a track athlete. 4.3 40-yard dash. How about a 24-foot 7-inch long jump. 17th recruit for the Razorbacks in 2027.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And lastly, Alabama basketball has announced a neutral site series with the Iowa Hawkeyes. That will get underway this season. Report comes from John Rothstein. Tide will travel to Des Moines for the neutral site game on December 21st of the 2027 season. The return trip will come next season in 2027 in Mobile. Of course, Iowa, Cinderella run through the NCAA tournament, made an Elite Eight, upset Florida. Alabama, their non-conference features Houston, Miami, St. John's, Seton Hall, and they'll be in the Players Era tournament in Vegas to go along with the bout against the Hawkeyes. There you have it. That is around the SEC.
All right, I got to remind you about Evermore, but before I do, Muse, what was the name of that pitcher that committed to Ole Miss?
I'm so glad you asked this. Eli Pillsbury.
Why are you glad I asked it?
He's named after the Doughboy.
Yeah, so why don't you have the Pillsbury Doughboy sound effect queued up?
You're on remote, and it's difficult to play some sound effects sometimes when you're on remote.
It's factually inaccurate.
It's not. That's why we don't do the drops.
We do drops.
I'm talking about to begin the show. It echoes.
I mean, what a giant missed opportunity. I mean, you could have played it there while my mic was down. I mean, the fact that we got, I mean, Muse, this is manna from radio heaven. Kid's name is Eli Pillsbury. I mean, we've been looking for a new one. You know, we ditched Justice. I mean, we finally work it in Charlie Smith a little bit there with Charlie Bit Me, and the Saints kicker hit it.
Nope.
Charlie Bit Me.
I mean, your boy's name is Eli Pillsbury. I guess I'll just do it. We'll workshop it. Oh, we are brought to you by Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. I've always got Evermore with me. I keep the 64-ounce bottles at home. I keep them in my office. I try to drink 2 a day. So I stay good and hydrated. Doesn't mean I pee all the time. Not that you need to know that, but that's good. It's a very healthy thing to do. Stay hydrated, especially when it's hot like this outside. You got to remember to stay hydrated. Evermore, natural artesian water, right from a natural spring, right at the well on the North Shore. Listen, yeah, you could buy that crappy bottle of water from Texas. You could buy it in that square bottle with the pretty flower on it from a foreign country because you think it's better. How about you support a great Louisiana product that is straight from the source, like right out of the spring well on the North Shore in Covington, into the bottle, natural distribution. Source matters. It's natural artesian water. It's a rare alkaline source. It is Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. You want to know who drinks Evermore? Eli Pillsbury. When you say Muse, it's doable. Pillsbury. Eli Pillsbury. No.
It should have played right there. Hold on.
Wait. Guy's name is Eli Pillsbury. That's so good. Now pitching for your Ole Miss Rebels, Eli Pillsbury. I mean, tell me that ain't gonna be so good. It is stupid. It's stupid, but it's great. All right, it's after further review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical. By the way, I would like to point out, however, that we successfully played a drop there like 4 times while I'm on remote. It's very doable. Especially when we're talking about Eli Pillsbury. All right, it's after further review. Hey, I do, we got a break. I do want to talk about Caden Henderson, the 5-star linebacker who had LSU on his list, picked Texas A&M. There's a bigger picture story here happening with A&M and recruiting that I want to get to here in a bit. But the Saints also today did announce the 2 newest members of the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame, and I got a thought on that. So we're going to get to it here as we wrap up hour number 1. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Thursday edition of AFR. We're live at the Spine Center. Stick around.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. It's Glow Resources. Hey, if you're hiring, if you're the person in your business responsible for finding the right people, and you're having trouble, you need Glow Resources. Jareth Nakian and his team, they're awesome, and they serve businesses in every category, literally all over the world. It doesn't matter if you're looking for skilled blue-collar labor or any type of office job, from an office assistant up to the C-suite, everything. Welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, any type of skilled blue-collar labor, they can help you. And at Glow Resources, they help businesses all over the country, even placing employees at jobs all over the world. Like there was a company from California. They found an employee in Texas for a company in California that was doing a job in Africa. It's crazy how they can connect those dots. GLO, glowresources.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
ParishRoof.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalVR.com.
The New Orleans Saints announced both Teron Armstead and Mark Ingram going into the team's Hall of Fame. The press conference was Thursday. Two all-time greats in Saints history, but from very strange perspectives, rooted in expectation. Here was Teron Armstead, the former third-round pick out of Pine Bluff, on his election to the Saints Hall of Fame.
I'm honored, humbled, thankful, grateful, appreciative, all the synonyms. And that's not enough to express gratitude for this moment, being here. Got my family here in the front row. A lot of the leaders of the organization that took a chance on me, a kid out of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Really small school, probably hard to see my film, Mickey. You guessed on a lot of things, but it worked. Mr. Tom Benson, Mrs. Gail Benson, Dennis Lauscher, Mickey Lomas, Fast Freddy, Sean Payton, all the names. I can go down the list. Play a part of my story, my journey. And without those names, without those people, I would not be here today. Being in this Hall of Fame for this organization representing this city I couldn't write a better story. It's perfect for me. It's perfect for my family. This is everything for me. This is I made it. I finally feel like I made it. This is the pinnacle. This is the reach. This is the goal, to be inducted with my brother, Mark Ingram. Sorry, we just met, but we've been around for a long time.
Teron Armstead was a third-round pick out of Pine Bluff in the 2013 draft. They loved his athleticism, thought he could play tackle, and they were absolutely right. Armstead ended up playing 9 seasons for the Saints, 97 games, 93 starts. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler in New Orleans. He was second-team All-Pro in 2018. That, of course, was the Saints team that went to the NFC Championship game, got no called, as we know. He made 2 more Pro Bowls during his time in Miami. So in all, a dozen NFL seasons, 131 starts, 5 Pro Bowls. Teron Armstead is one of the great stories in Saints history because he was a player from the FCS who became an anchor at left tackle on some of the great Saints teams. His career only really was limited by injuries, as he never had a season in his entire dozen-year career where he played a full 16 or 17-game season. Didn't happen at all. But in spite of that, still had an outstanding career. And I think it's an interesting contrast to look at Armstead, who was the third-round pick from an FCS school, who became an NFL, a 5-time Pro Bowler and a perennial starter at left tackle on some great teams, some playoff teams, and an Ingram who was a Heisman Trophy winner, a first-round pick, for whom the Saints traded back into round 1 to take Mark Ingram, and left New Orleans as the franchise's all-time leading rusher, and certainly is worthy of being in the Saints Hall of Fame because he left as the team's all-time leading rusher. But Ingram also played a dozen seasons in the NFL, and he didn't have a 1,000-yard season until 2016, and he went back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in New Orleans in 16 and 17. And, of course, his best season ever was when Alvin Kamara came into the league, and they had that complimentary piece. But for Mark Ingram, it was really a disappointment at the beginning, because you traded a first round to get back into round one to take Ingram. And as a rookie, he ran for just 474 yards, then 602, then 386 in 2013, and then had a nice season in 2014 where he's just shy of 1,000 yards and ran for 9 touchdowns. But then he dipped in 2015, and only when Kamara showed up did Ingram really start to flourish. But you only got that for a couple of seasons in New Orleans. Then he was off to Baltimore, then Houston, then back to New Orleans, where he just ended up playing another 7 games in 2021 and then 10 games in 2022. But it's interesting because in the context of the New Orleans Saints, Ingram is certainly a Hall of Famer because the Saints just don't have a long, storied history. And when he left as the franchise's all-time leading rusher. In the context, the bigger picture of the NFL, you would look at Mark Ingram and you would say that's a guy who was a first-round pick and the Saints traded back into round 1, and it took him a half decade to even become a consistent player, let alone a good player. But it's just, as I mentioned, the strange contrast of Ingram and Armstead because of expectation. If Mark Ingram were a third-round pick and we're talking about playing a dozen years and leaving as the franchise's all-time leading rusher, huge success story. What you gave up to get Ingram certainly defines in part his tenure and his career in New Orleans. But both Armstead and Mark Ingram going into the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame. So congrats to both of them, two former Saints greats that will go into the Hall of Fame together, the team's Hall of Fame together. All right, it's After Further Review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, decisioncriticalbr.com. As we always say, it's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. If it's end-of-life care, bringing home a newborn, maybe you're having surgery and you need someone to help you get home and carry out post-operative orders, Decision Critical can help. All right, we're going to wrap up hour number 1 here. Sports Center is around the bend.
After Further Review.
You know, I always love reminding you about Lee Michaels, but there's times of year where it's even better. Of course, like around the holidays, people love giving jewelry, maybe getting engaged around Christmas. Valentine's is a natural spot as well when people love to give jewelry. But the summer is so interesting because it really is engagement season for so many people. A lot of couples love to get engaged during the summer. Maybe you're out of school, you take time away from work, whatever the case may be, your summer vacation, you go to the beach and you're looking for that beautiful scenic backdrop to drop down on bended knee and pop the question. Well, if you're going to do that and you need the ring, you need Lee Michaels. LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, where they specialize in the Lee Michaels experience. Great selection at a great price. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hey,
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit SpineCenterLA.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98 Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Bryson DeChambeau and Xander Schauffele among the 8 men tied for the lead at the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy's one back. One of the stories of this day one, Keith Mitchell. He bounced back after a rough first 9 holes. He improved by 12 strokes on his back 9, highlighted by the tournament's first eagle on number 5. Mitchell is 2 off the lead. Despite his Knicks winning the NBA title for the first time in 53 years, they won't go into the punitive second apron to keep the team together for next season, according to owner Jim Dolan. New York's projected to be $13 million below the second apron this summer. So what are its offseason priorities? ESPN NBA front office insider Bobby Marks.
Retain your bench. They also have the 24th, 4th, and 31st pick in the draft. They've got a late second here. There's also the looming Karl Anthony Towns extension. 4 years, $272 million that he's extensionful. He can negotiate.
Baseball Brewers righty Quinn Priester will undergo season-ending surgery for thoracic outlet syndrome. He's expected to be sidelined 8 to 10 months.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, the vibes around the Dallas Cowboys are extremely high right now. So what do they need to achieve this year in order to prove themselves? We'll talk about it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are live today at the Spine Center of Louisiana and thrilled to be here. Put back pain behind you. Spine Center can make it happen. Supposed to be joined right now by LSU running back commit Trey Martin. Having trouble connecting. If we can get him on board, we'll do that. Kendall Rogers joining us from Omaha in about 15 minutes from right now. I mentioned as we were going to break about Caden Henderson. And if you're not familiar, Caden Henderson's the 5-star #1 linebacker in America, and he committed to Texas A&M today. And it's interesting because A&M is building one heck of a recruiting class right now, the high school recruiting class for 2027. And as we know, they got 5-star #1 offensive tackle in America in Mark Matthews, or one of the top offensive tackles in America in Mark Matthews. They now have, as you mentioned, Caden Henderson, the #1 linebacker in America. They've gotten Kamari Dorsey, who's a 5-star safety in the class. Zyron Forstall from Jesuit, who went to IMG's edge rusher, the #24 player in the country. Kennedy Brown, an interior offensive lineman, 5-star, #25 nationally, that LSU was recruiting. So A&M has the #1 class in America. Mark Matthews, Kamari Dorsey, Zyron Forstall, Kennedy Brown, Caden Henderson. That's 5 5 stars that they have. And Henderson, Matthews, and Dorsey are the number 1 players in the country at their position. Forstall is the 5th best edge. Kennedy Brown is the 3rd best interior offensive lineman. So, I mean, anyway, they are loading up top heavy in their class. And that's amazing for them. And if the roles were reversed and this is what LSU's class looked like, I think we'd all be celebrating it, and justifiably so. But I think what's interesting, I'm going to point this out because I'm not going to say this is good or bad. I'm just making an observation because I don't think we know the answer, because only time will tell and will eventually reveal this answer to us. Similar to when Lane Kiffin and Brian Kelly in the portal era were building their teams. And, of course, Brian Kelly showed up in Baton Rouge late 2021, early 2022, when NIL was about 6 months old. It was before it became, what it was, or what it's become. I mean, Nick Saban said in Congress his first year at Alabama and NIL, they spent $2.5 million on their roster. The whole roster, $2.5 million. Now it's at Bama, it's over $25 million. So it's dramatically ramped up. All that to illustrate that 5 years ago, NIL wasn't then what it is now. But we saw 2 very different approaches. Kelly's thing was recruit, develop, build through the high school ranks, supplement in the portal. Kiffin was portal king. 2 very different approaches, right? With different, sometimes mixed results. Now, you can roll your eyes at that, but the truth is Kelly won the SEC West his first year. They beat Bama, all that stuff. He had a couple of 10-win seasons. And then NIL spending outpaced LSU in 2024, and they went 8-4. And then they spent in 2025, missed a bunch, Nuss got hurt. We know what happened. But Kiffin's teams haven't won at the highest level, but won more consistently, right? They won 10 games on average over 5 seasons. They won 50 games over the last 5 seasons. The only 2 schools to win more over that period in the SEC were Bama and Georgia. So you can look and say these 2 coaches took 2 divergent approaches to that era with similar results, but it's fair to say Kiffin had a better 5-year run or 4-year run at Ole Miss if you start in 22 to 25, 22, 3, 4, 5, than Kelly did at LSU in the same run. Although they were 2-2 against each other, just overall win totals, everything. Obviously, Ole Miss made the playoffs this year, everything. So it just goes to show you different ways that they went about building. I say that because we've spent so much time now since Kiffin has been at LSU talking about how Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are building this roster and how they're approaching high school recruiting. The entire approach has been they want elite high school players, but only if they're going to play immediately. We've talked about this a bunch. I'm not like breaking news or telling you anything you haven't heard me say. I'm just illustrating a difference here between how LSU is doing it and how Mike Elko at Texas A&M is doing it. LSU only wants elite level high school guys. They're only going to pay elite level high school guys if they're going to contribute immediately at LSU. Otherwise, they're looking for guys that are character guys that are going to, they like the projectability that they can get on campus, not pay them, let them stay and wait and grow and develop, and then by the time they're in year 2, 3, 4, whatever, then they're going to be a contributing player. And then, of course, you go spend in the portal. I look at the top of A&M's class, and I don't know A&M's roster 1 to 85. Okay, I can't tell you I know what, certainly not for this year. I sure don't know what it will look like for 2027. But I see a 5-star offensive tackle, a 5-star interior offensive lineman, a 5-star safety, a 5-star edge, and a 5-star linebacker. Those are 5 players that are really, by the way, Raylon Henry, a cornerback, he's a 4-star. He's the number 42 overall player. Jaquan Snell is a safety, the number 48 overall player. Jaden Upshaw is a wide receiver, the number 56 overall player. Miles Smith, a defensive lineman, the number 59 overall player. Frederick Ards at edge is the number 61 overall player. Like, let me spell this out for you. Matthews, Dorsey, Forstall, Brown, Henderson, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 prospects. A&M has 10 commitments within the top 61 nationally. 10 of the top 61. All of those guys are going to require a heavy financial investment. So the point that Lane Kiffin would make is if you're going to make that kind of financial investment, you expect these guys to play immediately. Okay. If they, and they're not done, by the way. I mean, they're trending still for other elite level players. They're trending for Albert Simeon, whatever. My point is, you want a true freshman left tackle and 2 true freshman interior offensive linemen and a true freshman edge and 2 true freshman safeties and a true freshman linebacker, like a true freshman corner. Do you understand my point? Like, you'll have a lot of talent, but you're going to be really young. And I don't know that I want a roster built like that. Now, if you give me guarantees, like 10 years ago, this is the greatest class ever. Because you get all these top 50 guys, and they're all going to stay for 3-4 years, whatever, and grow and develop, and you're going to be, and by the time they're all mature, they're going to be awesome. But there's no guarantee, excuse me, that these guys stay beyond 1 year. And that really is the challenge. So you go pay all of these players to be part of your high school signing class. They're not all going to play, and if they do, you're going to be a really young roster, and that generally isn't good. Look at Indiana as the antithesis of that, a really old roster this year that won a national championship. So I think this is going to be a fascinating test case, because when we get to January of 28, I know that feels like forever from now, but let's say A&M gets all these guys signed, okay? They get all of these guys signed. And then you go through the 2027 season. All these guys are freshmen. This elite level class that they have, which is so impressive. Like, it really is an incredibly impressive compilation of talent. But if you go through 2027, you get through that season, and then in January of 28, half these dudes hit the portal, we'll look back and go, what'd you do? What, I mean, didn't A&M do this a few years ago when they signed the greatest high school class ever, and after 1 year, half those guys left, and A&M went 8-4 or 7-5, whatever it was? I mean, at some point, you got to learn your lesson. Maybe this works. Maybe they have found a way to structure deals to make it make sense for these guys to commit to staying for multiple years, and they all do, and it's great for them. Maybe it will, and that'll be the roadmap that teams in the future start to use. But it's just very clear that A&M and LSU, Mike Elko and Lane Kiffin, have very different approaches to the high school path. Like, I mean, LSU was the front runner for the number 1 cornerback in America, and looked at him and said, Josh Dobson, like, you're not going to play here as a freshman because we anticipate having to pay DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland and Haven Finney will be here. And, like, we're not going to pay you like a number 1 corner because you're going to be our number 4 or 5 corner. Now, we'd love you in 28. You'll be our number 1 in 29 and so on. But we can't pay you in 27 as a freshman like that because you're not going to play and you might leave. And so they stop recruiting him. A&M's taking all those guys. Will it work? I don't know. It's just a fascinating difference in how these two programs are approaching high school recruiting. And we'll look back in 18, 24, 36 months and see what's working and how people and teams start to adjust how they build rosters in this era. Interesting. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here, y'all. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. We always tell you, Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. Of course, Our Lady of the Lake, I got a peek at the roster. They've done 23 deals with LSU football players for this coming season. Sam Levitt, Jordan Seaton, Whit Weeks, Trades Green. Really excited to hear their stories, to have a lot of those guys on the show throughout the summer and the fall as well. But Our Lady of the Lake is a championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Not only do they support the Tigers on the field, the court, the diamond, in the classroom, and everyday champions like you and me. If it's your primary healthcare physician, if it's cancer, stroke, heart, pediatrics. Honestly, this morning, Eric and I had Drew seeing a GI doctor, Dr. Alonzo, over at the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. We utilize that world-class facility, and you can as well. And it's all part of FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're supposed to have Trey Martin here, 4-star running back. We'll see if we can connect with him maybe a bit later in the show. In 45 minutes, earlier today, if you missed it, Lloyd Peever, former Tiger great pitcher, was elected to the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Lloyd Peever will be with us at the start of Hour 3 in about 45 minutes from right now. Looking forward to that conversation. Let me knock out a break. We'll head up to Omaha. We'll talk a little bit with Kendall Rogers, some LSU portal stuff, and, of course, the College World Series final is set. We'll knock it around with Kendall when we come back here on AFR.
AFR.
Always love to remind you about River City's 1 hour air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. 90-degree air temp in Baton Rouge right now. And you know with the humidity, it's way hotter. So you better make sure that AC is ready to rip and run all summer long. River City's 1 hour air can help you make that happen. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You see them all over town because, well, they're the best. They got more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of their next closest competitor at River City's 1 hour air, because for 40 years they've been treating people great, doing great work at a fair price. It's River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders.
Hey, if you're looking for work, you need to talk to Big Jake at River Parish Contractors. Even if you're not looking for work, when you talk to Big Jake at River Parish Contractors, you realize you might need to. Tackers, fitters, welders, crane operators. Listen, you want to work in their fab shop, on site. The great thing, one of the many great things about River Parish Contractors is they are local. All of their work is local. Fab Shop is in Reserve. All of their work is between Chalmette and Baton Rouge. So you are home every single day with your family for dinner. You'll never miss your kids' baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer match, whatever it may be, when you go to work at River Parish Contractors. They've got full benefit packages, paid time off, paid vacations, obviously a great place, family owned and operated, to go work. It's River Parish Contractors. Call Big Jake, rpcontractors.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
On the ground, here's Willits up with it.
And the Boomer Sooner train behind 5 homers has moved on to the World Series Finals to face North Carolina.
If I had told you a team was going to hit 5 home runs in a game in the College World Series to advance to the final, you probably would have believed it was Georgia, not Georgia's undoing at the hands of Oklahoma, but that's how it sounded on ESPN. Oklahoma and North Carolina is your College World Series final, something not many people would have predicted. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, good enough to jump aboard with us. Yo, man, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Really well. Not surprised by North Carolina. Oklahoma has got to be the outlier surprise here. Kendall, how did they do it?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think about just how small or how big the little things matter in college baseball. Remember, this is an Oklahoma team that, at the box earlier this season, they had to really scratch and claw to take a series from LSU. Frankly, a series LSU could have very well won. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how things can change dramatically. But I think the biggest thing for Oklahoma is if you look at their offense over the last month of the season, especially these last 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, their power production has been incredible. I mean, Jason Walk, Deshaun Harris, 2 guys that had 2 home runs last night. Those guys entered the College World Series with 3 home runs. I mean, that's just pretty incredible what they've done. And, Trey Gamble's been super clutch. And to have 3 freshmen throw the way they have with, Cord Rager and Weslowski last night, and certainly Xander Mercurius has been pretty special. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like LSU last year when you have outings like Cade Anderson, you have outings like Anthony Ianson, you look at the plays that, Monster Milam made last year here in Omaha. You had that feeling about LSU, and I have that feeling about Oklahoma right now. Just everything is coming up OU.
The power numbers are so interesting, Kendall, because I was told that you may have this offhand, but I was told a number today that entering the postseason, Oklahoma was 120th or 125th in homers. They're 30th right now.
It was low, yeah.
Yeah. Now, like a lot of teams aren't playing, obviously, but that is an enormous jump. To what do we attribute the power surge over the last month?
This sounds like a lazy take, but I really think for Oklahoma, it's just literally they're just on a heater. I mean, you see it every year, right? Or most years. I mean, I kind of think compare it to Ole Miss back when they actually, ironically enough, beat Oklahoma to win the national championship. That year, the last couple of weeks of the season, going back to the regional, Ole Miss was getting every single key hit. They were hitting with premier power. They were getting every single clutch pitching performance. And that's just the way Oklahoma has been. And I think the biggest thing for OU is, you start to feel like King Kong a little bit when you beat Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech had looked like an unstoppable force. They go into Atlanta, they win that regional. Dayton Taki hits that home run over the batter's eye to win the regional. And ever since then, they've thought they can beat literally anyone. And guess what? They can't beat anyone because they beat what, many of us thought was kind of, so they're playing with house money, and they're just playing really well. Like, I mean, they're defending at a really high clip. I mean, you look back at last night, Daniel Jackson hits that hot shot to the hot corner, and Camden Johnson, makes that incredible play. And I wrote about this in my column, but, again, you hate to use the word team of destiny a lot, but it's just every single thing is going OU's way.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. There's obviously 2 sides of every story. There's the thrill of Oklahoma's win and advancing, and just the massive disappointment for Georgia, which won the league by 3.5 games, won the conference tournament, looked like they were going to cruise through their side of the bracket in Omaha, and then they just can't get past Oklahoma. So where does Georgia go from here? Rate this disappointment, Kendall, if you would, for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I would rate it pretty high. I mean, so here's the problem with Georgia, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but like Georgia won too much. When you look back at Georgia during the regular season, they win the SEC regular season. Wes Johnson tried to win the SEC tournament. They won the SEC tournament. And history would suggest that when you try to win that conference tournament, it really taxes you. And so, you look at on top of that, the regional went pretty easy. But you go back to that super regional, and I kind of circle that as what really kind of hurt them in Omaha. You think about how stressful that regional was for the coaches, the players, the pitching staff, and just the way Mississippi State kept going at them. I think that super regional took a lot out of Georgia, and certainly took a lot out of Georgia's offense. I mean, some people are going to look at Georgia's production or lack of here in Omaha and go, oh, well, the wind must have been blowing in. No, actually, the wind was blowing out every single Georgia game, and it did not matter. Georgia still cannot hit. So it's not one of those things where they just had a bunch of balls die at the wall. I mean, Luke Harrison had a career night for Texas against Georgia. Certainly Nick Rozlowski last night had a career night for Oklahoma against Georgia. They just picked a really bad time to pitch really well and not hit at all, which is kind of crazy, really, because that's the opposite of what Georgia was all season long. All season long, they were the team that could really hit, but they really were super inconsistent on the mound. In Omaha, it was the storyline was flipped a little bit, and that led to their downfall ultimately.
So now it's Oklahoma and North Carolina for the national championship. Kendall, when you look at this matchup, what are the key storylines?
Yeah, I think, North Carolina was my pick coming into Omaha, and I just love that they do everything really well. They really defend. They get clutch hit after clutch hit. Gavin Gallagher to own a hole have been incredible here in Omaha. And then when you look at the pitching side of things, Ryan Lynch and certainly Jason DeCaro at the front end, and then Katie Glauber, one of the top pitchers in the country, probably our freshman of the year, closing things out for them. It's hard to go against North Carolina just because Carolina is doing everything really well. So I think the key for me is just if North Carolina continues to play the way he has played, I don't think it matters how hot OU is. I think North Carolina comes home with its first national championship.
By the way, are you picking UNC to win?
Yeah, I'm going with the Tar Heels.
Yeah, it's. I looked at the odds a bit ago, Kendall. I think North Carolina was a minus 190 favorite, and OU was a plus 155 underdog. So, man, if you believe in the hot hand, it's a good price for Oklahoma. But Carolina is a pretty sizable favorite there. A couple more things for you. Kendall Rogers with us, D1 Baseball. I'm sure you saw earlier, Ted. I'd love to get your thoughts on the proposal for Major League Baseball. If you missed it earlier today, we're going to talk later in the show, but for the listener that missed it, there's a proposal for Major League Baseball to effectively prohibit high school draft picks in the future. You would have to be 2 years out of high school in order to be draft eligible or 20 years old. Is this something you think even has a remote possibility of passing?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you're trying to avoid a lockout, I think it actually does have a very significant chance to pass. And here's the thing. With Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred has made it abundantly clear over the last few years that he wants college baseball to be the primary feeder of the big leagues. He wants to trim the minor league system. He wants to make college baseball more so the minor league system because guess what? It's less money those guys have to funnel into it. So he has made that pretty clear. And so I actually think it does have a chance to pass. And boy, you talk about something that could revolutionize the sport. I mean, I think college baseball is already at an all-time high, even without LSU in the World Series. I mean, we're at 45% year over year in TV ratings. You add in the fact that all these kids have to go to school. And, I mean, that would be incredible for the sport. So, yeah, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, I think it has a really significant chance to pass. And if it does, and those kids have to stay in school for a couple of years, I mean, you just think of what that does for college baseball. Think of what it does for a program like LSU that recruits in an elite level every single year. It could be a lot of fun.
Man, the talent infusion in college baseball would be insane if that does, in fact,
happen. I think Jim Schlesinger said it perfectly the night after Texas got eliminated is we really are the golden age of college baseball.
Sure.
I think as big as college football and college basketball are, and as much as I love those two sports, frankly, I'm probably even a college baseball writer. I'm probably even a bigger college football fan than I am college baseball. Like college baseball, people kind of view it as like the last frontier a little bit. You have all this drama and all these other sports. College baseball certainly has the NIL and things like that, but people kind of view it as the last pure sport. And if you can throw all of these kids going to college in the mix, I mean, watch out.
Yeah. Look, I mean, Kendall, we're already seeing a talent infusion just when you look at LSU, like with Stephen Milam. In a different era, Kendall, there is no shot he returns for his senior year, but now you can make sense financially for him to return and play another season, which benefits college baseball because you have these great players that stay now. So it is a fascinating time. Hey, really quick before you go, do you have a thought on LSU's portal class so far?
I love it so far. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some question marks with Dawson Parr just because he was kicked off the team at Texas State. But assuming Jay kind of gets his head on straight, which it sounds like he will. Park is an elite shortstop. I would consider him a very highly graded shortstop from a scouting perspective. He's got some power in the bat. Obviously, Bino Waters is a guy that certainly, had a great year from a power standpoint. Jason Walks from, Tulane, certainly, again, a power production guy. So right now, Jay is going after the right pieces, and I don't think LSU is even close to done. I mean, they've got, 4 or 5 more kind of premier portal guys are going after. And, of course, Landon Hood certainly was another awesome addition. You talk about a guy with a ton of upside. I mean, it's a lead arm, elite fastball, and, there with Coach Yeski, I think he's going to be great at LSU. So LSU, even though they're not in Omaha with us right now, that's going to be a really good team next year.
Yeah, I know they're targeting a few more portal arms to fortify that bullpen. We'll see what else they can add.
Yeah, I do not see the Tigers having the same season they had this year next year. I'll just put it that way.
God help us. Kendall Rogers, D1 baseball.
God help college baseball. That is not good for college baseball when LSU struggles.
It's not good for a radio host in Baton Rouge either, man. We appreciate it, Kendall. Thank you.
You got it, brother. Be good, man.
All right,
Thank you.
We'll see you. That's Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball. It's with us all throughout the year in the baseball season, so we do appreciate him, his time as always. All right, it's after further review. We're here at the Spine Center. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Yesterday, Alonzo, if you want to call him back, you can, right? Yesterday, last evening, of course, there was an awful weather event. Our first name storm came through. If you did have water intrusion, Parish Restoration can help. Mold remediation, restoration, all of those services. Give Jim Woodworth and the gang a call. ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. You go to the website, fill out the form, they'll get in touch. They're cost effective, they're efficient, they're effective, they're affordable. It's Parish Restoration. So if you have mold, think you might have water intrusion, need remediation services, they can help you out there at Parish Restoration. Go to ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. All right, it's after further review, halfway home here on a Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, and we are at the Spine Center. Oh, by the way, I should mention, we're at the Spine Center in Baton Rouge, but they have Spine Center in Lafayette, Hammond, Walker, Lacombe, so you could certainly go to the website and find the Spine Center location nearest you, SpineLA.com, SpineLA.com, or call 833-SPINE-LA, 833-SPINE-LA to book your appointment. Hey, let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Actually, while we were talking to Kendall, Trey Martin called. Did he reply? Did you call him back?
No, I'm going to wait, but I texted him and let him know that I'm going to call him.
All right, we're going to see if we're going to connect here with Trey Martin, see if we can get him on the flip side of this break. So we'll continue here. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Before the show started, some of our friends here at Spine Center walked in, and we were talking, and one of them pointed out that I'd lost weight. And I said, man, I feel awesome. I feel like I did when I was 20. And this person was like, I wish I felt that good. Like, you can. Hormone replacement therapy is real. It is an amazing treatment that is safe and affordable and helps you feel like your younger self. I mean, think about how you felt in your 20s when you had great waking energy, you slept great, you had mental clarity, you had motivation to get in the gym, you could burn fat, build muscle. Like, all of that is in part related to your hormone levels. And as we age, our body produces less of those hormones. Well, you can safely, affordably supplement to get to healthy levels. And nobody's better than Goodwood. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
LSU on a recruiting heater, 9 commits in less than 2 weeks, and among them, 4-star running back out of Winsboro, Franklin Parish, Trey Martin, good enough to jump aboard with us here on a Thursday AFR. Trey, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
Yeah, how about you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Probably not as good a week as you're having, though. Start off with an easy one, man. Why'd you pick LSU?
Man, I'm a Louisiana kid, man. It was a great environment. I love being around the coaches and stuff. I mean, they just treated me like I was like the higher priority. So, I mean, yeah, I just wanted to be there.
Hey, when you're growing up in Winsboro, like, did you grow up an LSU fan?
Yeah, I did, actually.
So who were some of the guys, like, do you, like, as a kid, you know, we all, I mean, you're from Louisiana, like, we all grow up, if you watch the Tigers, there's players you like or games you like. Were there players that you remember watching thinking, like, yeah, I want to be like him or do that?
I would say, like, Odell Beckham Jr., you know, he grew up, me growing up watching him play at LSU, doing the things that he was doing. He was one of the guys that I really looked forward to, and I wanted to be like as my career. And as I got older, I just, you know, work harder and harder, you know, and opportunity came and I took it.
You know, the interesting thing about your recruitment, Trey, you tell me if this is wrong, but a lot of the recruiting analysts said throughout the thing, you kind of felt like maybe Bama had a lead for you and that you might end up going there. When did LSU kind of start to emerge in your recruitment?
I would say, like, once I got down there, and I took my OVs, and once I got to the top 3, which was Ole Miss and Florida, it was just like a no-brainer. Like, LSU had so many polls about the school and why I should go there. It was like, man, I can't just miss out on this opportunity, one in a lifetime, you know, to play for the LSU Tigers. And so, you know, that opportunity came, and I took it, and it was nothing like just playing in that stadium. The stadium was big. Like, I went in there, I was like, man, the stadium, I can imagine myself playing. And, you know, it's a dream for every kid in Louisiana, and I'm one of those kids, and I took the opportunity.
Hey, man, tell me, Trey Martin's our guest, but tell me about, I think I saw on social media, like you FaceTiming with Coach O or something like that. Tell me about what it was like being recruited by him or your interactions with him.
Coach O was a great guy, man. I mean, he has a personality, like one of those real defensive coaches mentality. Like, you could tell just in his voice that he's really a coach. Like, and to be around him and knowing what he did with the kids, I mean, it's amazing it's like different kids and different people being around him. He's just different. Like, you could tell that he's really a winner, and that's what I want to be a part of. So I took that chance with him too.
Talk to me, if you would, about your interactions with Kevin Smith, who, the little bit that I've gotten to talk to Coach Smith, just impressive, intense. What was it like for you getting to meet Kevin Smith?
Meeting Kevin Smith, it really was a great, like, he's a real genuine coach. Like, he keep it real with you. He don't let you know what it is and what it ain't. He's not gonna feed you something and tell you something, and then damn down the line, then that's not what it is. Like, he's gonna give you the real. So him being real like communicative with me, letting me know that he got me and throughout this process in my family, and he was real good with my family. So like, I like that at the bottom. So like, he really a great coach. He really one of those ones. And we built the trust at Ole Miss, so it was already good.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So he was already recruiting you at Ole Miss?
Yes, sir, he was.
Got it. So did you have a relationship with Coach Kiffin before he got to LSU?
Yeah, we, like, all those guys that just not getting there, like the ones that came from Ole Miss, like, they was recruiting me heavy while they was at Ole Miss, and we built a relationship as we went on. So it was one of a kind. So I loved it. Like, once they got, like, man, they had my dream school, man. Like, I'm ready.
I love it, man. Hey, so I saw you got to take the picture on the balcony with Lane Kiffin, man. Like, everybody's up there doing that. Is that like something they tell you, all right, you got to go take this picture, or you want to take that picture with Kiffin on the balcony?
I think I was one of those one like that. The stadium in the background, so it's like that. It's y'all dream to be at this school, man. Come on the balcony and we take this picture. And my mom, she not really into, like, she don't know who Lane Kiffin really is. So we was trying to get her to figure out. She was like, you put this on your Facebook and watch how many people love it.
Wait, so did your mom put it on her Facebook?
Yeah, so she went to work the next day. She was like, why everybody hugging me and be like, I bet Lane Kiffin. I don't know who.
Oh, dude, that's so good. How many? I need to look it up. How many likes does it have on Facebook?
Oh, I don't even know. It's a lot, man. Like, she went to work. She was happy. She was like, man, I just met Lane Kiffin. I still don't know who Lane Kiffin is, but I met her.
She's like the only one who doesn't know who Lane Kiffin is. That's funny, man. Hey, one of the things I've been asking a lot of, look, you're one of 3 running backs in this class. And, dude, you're a top 150, top 100 overall guy in the country, man. Like, is your expectation to come here and play immediately, or if you got to sit and wait your turn? Is that your path? What do you think?
As of right now, this is coming in and playing early. Like, they got a high expectation for me and the other guy that's with me. The other guy that's they committed to us, we have some real high expectations to come take over after class begin, because we are the first class that they taken at LSU. So it's like, we got a high expectation.
Sure. Trey Martin out of Winsboro, Franklin Parish. Hey, one more thing, man. Give me, if you wouldn't mind, like your like height, weight, right? I see sometimes, the recruiting services, it could be old or whatever. This says 6'2", How big are you right now?
I'm not 6 foot yet. I wish I was, but I'm 5'10" and a half, about 202, 205 around there.
All right, 5'10" and a half. I love it. I'm not 6 foot yet. I wish I was. Hey, man, there's a lot of great running backs that are 5'11", man, or smaller. Trey Martin, we appreciate the visit, man. Thanks for taking a few minutes today. All the best, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep, it's our pleasure. That's Trey Martin, one of 3 running backs in this class. You can tell, man, said the expectation is to come play immediately and be an impact guy. And I think he's right. Like, I think what these coaches are telling him is right. Lane said this. I don't want to stray too far here, but Lane said this yesterday. I don't know if you still have the audio of it, Muse. There was a cut where Lane was talking about how he's recruiting these guys, and part of what he told Tyron, I'm paraphrasing, was just like, I'm oversimplifying it. He's like, just be honest with them. We're not selling them a bill of goods. We're just telling them what it is, because they can see through it. And, in this era, when money and everything's evolved, there's no sense in lying. So you just have a real, candid conversation with them. And he just told you there that they're telling him the expectation is to play immediately, and I don't think they'd be out there signing 3 running backs in this class to come sit behind all the transfers they brought in for this year. So, I think they like Harlan Berry. They like Dylan Jones. I think the other 4 scholarship running backs on this team right now, really going to have to fight to earn a spot for 2027. And especially when you're bringing in Trey Segura and Trey Martin, who are 2 top 100, top 150, top 10 running backs in the country, they think will be able to contribute immediately. So, all right, it's after further review. Rolling along here, man. We're glad you're hanging out with us on this Thursday edition of AFR. Always love telling you about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. One more time, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. If you're thinking of buying land, make sure your first call is to First South Farm Credit. And you go to the website, start there. They have the ultimate recreational land buying guide on the homepage, totally free resource. If you've never bought land before, it's a great resource to use to start. If you've bought land before, well, in many instances, you know the drill. Maybe you could take some of the equity in your current property, roll it into your new property. Maybe you need a tax write-off. Certainly, you're going to incur expenses when you own land. That could be great for tax purposes. Talk to your CPA about buying land. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. That's who you need to call. They've been helping Louisianans buy land for more than 100 years. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Make sure your first call is to First South Farm Credit. All right, it's after further review. Rolling along, we're here at Spine Center in Baton Rouge, and glad to have you hanging around with us on this Thursday AFR presented by Decision Critical. So we'll knock out our final break of hour number 2. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. If you missed it earlier today, the College Baseball Hall of Fame announced their class for 2026, and LSU baseball legend Lloyd Peever is a member of the newly elected College Baseball Hall of Fame class. We're fired up for him. Lloyd's going to be with us in 15 minutes from right now. We're excited for that conversation. Stay with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon. Get it done. A couple of things to know in particular about the website when you go there, getgordon.com. So it's really easy. If you want to, let's say you've been in an accident, you're not sure what to do, like who to call. Well, you can always call Gordon's office, and you'll talk to a person, 888-8888, 888-8888. It's easy, just dial the 8s, no matter where you are, 888-8888. Or you go to getgordon.com. If you'd prefer to, text with an associate, there's a little chat bubble on the bottom right of the homepage. Boom, right there. You'll be texting with an associate in a matter of seconds. They have testimonials, like actual client testimonials, the types of cases they've handled. If you want to learn more about that, where their physical offices are all over the state of Louisiana, it's really easy. It's getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, Whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Joe Burrow had media availability in Cincinnati on Wednesday as the Bengals wrapped up mandatory minicamp. And he said something that will likely make LSU fans, it'll warm you in the cockles of your heart. Maybe the sub-cockles of your heart might terrify the rest of the vision if it actually comes to pass. This is what Burrow said.
You know, you go back and watch what I said before 2019 season at LSU. You know, I feel very similarly about this team. You know, I'm so excited to get started and get moving, and I wish we would ramp this right into training camp so we can continue to improve, because I feel like, you know, there's so much greatness that we're going to be able to achieve this year. I'm just excited to get going.
What Joe is referencing is that SEC Media Days before 2019, he said very brazenly, as we now know, Joe Burrow is that, has no problem whatsoever being that and saying that he thought they would score 45, 50 points a game. And a lot of people chuckled because you got to remember the context. Okay, this was the decade of offensive impotence for LSU. This was a decade of Jordan Jefferson and Anthony Jennings and all of the what we all would rather forget, right? Not what LSU has become offensively. And so the thought that LSU would go score 40, 50 a game was laughable. A lot of people laughed at Joe. Well, they went on and had the greatest season ever, as we all well know. Look, the Bengals were my pick to win the Super Bowl last year, knowing full well the issues that they had defensively. But Joe, we all know what elite-level quarterback play can mean in football and certainly in the NFL. Joe Burrow 2 seasons ago had an MVP-caliber season. They just weren't a good enough team for him to win the MVP. And then last year, obviously, he had a toe, and that limited Cincinnati and what they could be. If Burrow is healthy, stays healthy, and Cincinnati has actually improved, they've improved their offensive line, which was the big bugaboo early in his career. They were atrocious defensively. They was one of the worst defensive teams in the NFL last year. So it's why they went and, traded a top 10 pick for an interior defensive lineman, and they're trying to go improve their defense. And if they have, and Burrow stays healthy, then I don't see any reason why. In an AFC where we just saw the Patriots with a second-year quarterback go to the Super Bowl, why the Cincinnati Bengals couldn't be that team. If they were, they look a lot like 2019 LSU, which was a pro team playing college. Look out. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're here at Spine Center. We do it every day here. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll start with some Major League Baseball. Hunter Fiducia, our guy for the Tampa Bay Rays,
Went 1 for 3 yesterday, his third double of the season. Came around to score in that game as well. Got the start at catcher. He's really occupying that role well for the Rays. They did fall to the to the Dodgers, 5-4. But Fiducia, 253 so far on the season. Alex Bregman for the Cubbies yesterday, 0 for 1. Did have an RBI, did score a run, walked twice. So while he didn't find any green grass out there for a hit, very productive day for Bregman nonetheless. It also just dawned on me that Alex Bregman and Dansby Swanson both play for the Cubs. That's the number 1 and number 2 pick from that draft class. Kind of impressive that just slipped through the cracks. Major League Baseball later today, Aaron Nola will be on the bump for the Philadelphia Phillies. Gage Jump will be on the bump for the Sacramento/Las Vegas/Oakland Athletics. 2 former Tigers looking to increase their win total here on the season. Some WNBA notes. It was another double-double from Anissa Morrow, 11 points, 10 rebounds. She is now back playing after a lower leg injury. Kind of hampered her for about a week and a half. Shot 5 of 11 from the floor. And Flau'jae Johnson, the Seattle Storm, 8 points, an assist, and 2 rebounds in the Storm's latest loss. And had to go to the Portland Fire. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Oh, man. Just down the road from where we are right now, Supper Club. You know, like whenever we do remotes on the road, I usually extend my gratitude to Alondra by taking her and we go eat a good steak dinner. No, I mean, that's how we roll, right? I mean, Nashville, Lake Charles, Houston. I mean, I'm like, look, thank you for your hard work. Let's go have a good dinner. I mean, today, the Supper Club's like right there. I mean, we're sitting here on Blue Bond. I mean, I go up to Perkins and make a left. Supper Club's right there. I don't have a reservation, but it don't matter. Remember, you can always walk in, have dinner at the bar, 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. Thursday, good way to get that weekend started off, man. Go get you a steak at Supper Club. Make plans to get there this weekend. SupperClubBTR.com is where you can get your reservation. If you're celebrating or you just want to go have a great meal, the best meal you'll ever have, Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Making plans for football season. If you know you're going to be in town, get your reservations now because they're going to be packed. And like hard sellout on this football weekend. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all. Hour 3, staring you straight in the face here after SportsCenter. Lloyd Peever is next.
AFR.
As we wrap up hour number 2, I do want to remind you about Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know, tell you all, I mean, the thing we talk about all the time with Relief Windows, you know, you can go get, if you get quotes in your shopping price, it's never going to be Relief Windows. They're never going to be the cheapest, and that's okay. Like, that's not what they want to be. They're not going to be the one that sells you the windows the cheapest. They want to be the best. They're going to measure twice and install once. Every window custom made for the specifications of your home. They never take $1 from you until they're done and you're thrilled with the work. Like, they will not take a down payment. They take all the risk up front. They have a true lifetime transferable warranty. If a company's relatively new, how do you know if it's an actual lifetime transferable warranty that they can stand behind? At Relief Windows, you don't have to worry about that. They're the best. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi, University of Oklahoma senior amateur rider Cowan in sole possession of the lead at the U.S. Open at 3 under. Rory McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau are 2 back. After a disastrous opening 9 holes, Keith Mitchell rebounded in a big way. He improved by 12 shots on his second 9 during his wild first round. The highlight, the tournament's first eagle on number 9. He's 3 off the lead. Scottie Scheffler is 5 back. During the Knicks' historic championship run to their first NBA championship in 53 years, Jalen Brunson didn't say a word publicly to his critics. Today, surrounded by millions of adoring fans celebrating that title, Brunson hit back at the doubters.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. But when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them.
NBA Finals MVP Jalen Brunson. United States men's national team's Christian Pulisic, dealing with a calf injury, continued to train separately from the team today, one day before the Team USA takes on Australia in World Cup Group D play.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are not in the Raising Cane studio today. We're at Spine Center here in Baton Rouge off of Bluebonnet. So pleased to be here at Spine Center. Our friends with Dr. McCarthy and Dr. Harrod and all the great people here who have been such great partners of ours and so welcoming to us. So we're glad to be here. Put back pain behind you here, Spine Center. They can make it happen. What a day for LSU baseball, and what a day for Lloyd Peever as the College Baseball Hall of Fame has announced via the College Baseball Foundation their 21-member class for 2026. And former LSU pitcher Lloyd Peever is a member of the 2026 College Baseball Hall of Fame class. And Lloyd Peever is good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Man, congratulations. We appreciate the time on a really special and busy day for you, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. It's my pleasure, and we appreciate you for taking the time. How'd you find out?
Got a phone call the beginning of last week that I obviously didn't expect, and asked how my family was, and then made the announcement and, all the details. So, I'm now 54 years old. It's been 34 years since I have thrown a pitch at LSU, and to, be recognized in your 50s is a pretty cool thing, just to be recognized at any point in your career, baseball career, but, definitely a surprise at this point in my life.
Who called you?
Lori Burtman, because she sits on that board, and she made sure to say, I had nothing to do with this, and neither did Dad. He has one vote. There are, I don't even know how many voting members, 200 plus, 300, something like that. She said, but, we had zero to do with this. This was all on, your college record and everything that you did. And, that was very special to have her call me. And then I got the chance to talk to Skip today. Kind of wanted to wait for the announcement and thanked him for, bringing me to LSU and Baton Rouge, and for giving me the opportunity to pitch here, learn from him. And, I've lived in this community ever since I played.
Yeah. Lloyd, whatever you feel like you can share, what was that conversation like with Skip today?
So part of playing and pitching at LSU is the atmosphere, the crowd. I was in the in-between year. The first national championship won in 91, the second in 93. I transferred here from Seminole Junior College in Oklahoma, and a couple of the reasons that I came, one was Skip. He had the reputation of being a pitching development coach, and called the pitches unless, I just said, I don't want to throw that. But he was so in tune to the game and the pitching training, development, preparation, follow-up, all of that. So, the conversation was just thanking him for helping develop me while I was here, giving me the opportunity to pitch. Chad Auger and Paul Bird were the 91 stars. Mike Sorotka followed that up and came back for his junior year in 92, had off-season arthroscopic surgery, so he didn't assume the number one role. I assumed that number one role coming in as a new guy. And, being able to learn from him, develop, take what I'd learned at Seminole, which was a really hard-nosed program where I got confidence and realized I could do anything I wanted to through hard work, then getting fine-tuned here and getting the opportunity to play in front of the best fans in America, the best competition even then in the country, and just, it all fell together. And the funniest thing from our conversation today was I brought back one memory where post LSU, when I was playing professional baseball in the Rockies organization, I came back to Baton Rouge and worked out and finished up my senior year. And I shared with him, I went to the Rotary Club meeting downtown and was his guest. He was speaking like he does annually, or used to annually. And he said, I have somebody sitting at my table, one of the best pitchers to ever pitch at LSU. And if you didn't know it, you would think he was my accountant, because I am not the biggest guy. Much like your previous guest, Trey, I never quite made it to 6 feet tall. I'm not 5'10" and a half guy in the program with spikes on, and as the older I get, it's not 5'10" and a half anymore. So the story that he followed that up with, that he actually remembered, was in negotiating with Colorado after being drafted. I tried to play hardball, and I enrolled in summer school, tried out for Team USA. That was the Olympic team that year. Made it down to the final few, didn't make it though. Went to classes, really didn't want to be in classes. I wanted to go play, especially for a new organization. That was Colorado's first draft. And so the scouts cross-checker and the scout that eventually signed me, met with the coaches and Skip, and then met with myself and my family. And Skip said, and they came back in and talked to us, and they were like, "That's it? I thought he was the manager." So, so Skip had to, share that story too on the Hall of Fame announcement day.
Did Lloyd
nothing against managers, but I'm not the typical Paul Skeens body type. I'm not the typical, anybody body type. I look like your second baseman. Terrio and I have a lot in common.
Well, you could say typical second baseman, man, but you're one of only 5 members of the College Baseball Hall of Fame to represent LSU. It's Skip, Ben McDonald, Todd Walker, Eddie Furness, now Lloyd Peever. I mean, that's the list. That's a hell of it's a mouthful, Lloyd. It's amazing.
Yeah. Super flattered. Very, very flattered.
Did you ever shake off Skip?
Do I have to tell this story?
Please.
Do you know this story?
Oh
my gosh.
Clearly I don't. And you and I have talked over the years, and I know a lot of Skip stories, but I fear, Lloyd, that's probably all the Skip stories I know, there's a million more that I don't.
Okay. So I threw opening night against UNLV in the box. I think might have played another game after that before going to what then was the Winn-Dixie showdown in the Superdome.
Sure.
And so it was always Louisiana schools, LSU, Tulane, and USL at the time would play schools from another state. And that year we played Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Georgia Southern, I believe. And I drew Georgia Tech, which on that team was Jason Veritek,
sure.
Nomar Garcia-Parra. This was their sophomore year. They were both freshman All-Americans. They were either ranked number 2 or 3. I think we were ranked in the top 10. And I had a really, really good game, but it was a very close game. I don't remember the score. We might have been up like 3-1, something like that. And up until that game, I had not shaken off Skip. And it was like their 3 or 4 hole hitter. I remember to this day, his last name was Wolf. Big guy. And got to a 3-2 count. And Skip throws down fastball. And I'm like, I'm not going to throw a fastball to this guy. I'm going to throw a breaking ball. I had enough confidence in my breaking ball. I'm going to throw him a 3-2 breaking ball. Threw it knee high, and he took it off the deck. So, like the second deck, the facing, bounced back onto the field. And, I'm thinking, what does he know that I don't? He's called every pitch right up until now. I've won the first couple games, hadn't walked anybody. And then first time I shake him, the guy takes one off the deck. And I walk in the dugout, and reassuringly, he grabs me on the shoulder and he said, "P, that was a really good pitch." So, he was coaching still. But I still shook him off a few times, didn't have that same result. But, yeah, that was the first time I shook Skip off.
It was a really good pitch.
Very memorable. Yeah.
You all beat Georgia Tech. I'm looking at the schedule. You beat Georgia Tech 3-2 that day in the Busch Classic or the Busch Challenge.
Yep.
Then lost to Georgia and then beat Georgia Southern 20-7. Pretty good time for the Tigers. Hey, it's. I'd love to be. Your story's an interesting one, Lloyd, because you obviously accomplished an amazing thing in 1 year at LSU, and as far as a single season, you're in the LSU Hall of Fame, Athletics Hall of Fame. For those who don't know, I mean, it's really you and Paul Skeens. And when Skeens had his great season, you mentioned body style, but when Skeens had his season a couple of years in 23, it brought comparisons to the lone year where you had a sub-2 ERA and you were 14-0 in the National Player of the Year and all that sort of stuff. Do you ever think about in this era or a different era how your career, your path might have been different?
In this era, I think it's the same. It's a mindset, obviously. At the beginning of the year, the goal is don't lose a game. It's not let's win 10. It's what can I do to go out every single day and not lose a game? And those things for me were get a first pitch strike on every hitter in that lineup of 27. So that was my first objective on every batter, because I knew if I could get ahead, I could throw secondary pitches, throw, borderline pitches, nibble, as Skip used to call extra fastball, inside. So you can throw more of the pitches that you want to if you're ahead. So that was the first objective. And, after every game, we would go back and look at the chart, Skip and I would, and, I would see, oh my gosh, 19 out of 27, 21 out of 27. And that was one of the things that enabled me to be successful. The second was, don't put guys on base. And Skip taught me a couple of things about that. I had a really good changeup, really good breaking ball, located fastball very well. But if I got behind, I would hold the ball a little bit differently and throw a fastball, which would take a few miles an hour off. But I would serve it up, and they would pop the ball up. They would, nub it, hit ground balls, just to not put guys on base. And I started the season, and this is a crazy stat. I started the season, the first 39 innings of the year, I did not walk a batter. And I remember we were playing Maine during Mardi Gras at home, and I walked my first batter, and it was like the box took a huge sigh, like, and it was for me too. It was like, okay, we got it behind us now.
Yeah.
But not putting guys on base was one of the second reasons that I was successful. And I'll give you a third one. As a pitcher, you can't win without the guys playing defense behind you and scoring runs. So I'm going to do something really, really quick that I didn't do at the Hall of Fame, LSU Athletics Hall of Fame, which I hope brings back some really good memories. But I'm going to roll through the lineup that was behind me on defense.
Okay.
That it's pretty cool thinking back. So at first base, you had Kenny Jackson and Will Hunt split the year, both transfers, and Will was from Seminole Junior College also. He and I have played baseball together since we were 7 years old. On the same team in Little League and then in different teams as we grew up and in high school. Second base, Todd Walker, freshman All-American. Shortstop, Andy Sheets, All-American, played in the big leagues with the Mariners and maybe some other teams and in Japan. Third base was Russ Johnson, freshman All-American, big leaguer. Left field was Jim Greeley, and I'm trying to remember who else might have played left. Chris Mook, his senior year. Center field, Armando Rios. Right field, Harry Barrios. And behind the dish, the infamous Adrian Antonini. Pitching staff, myself, Saratka, Matt Chamberlain, who's a doctor here in town, Ronnie Rance, famous Ronnie Rance, was on that staff. Henry Saunders, an attorney here in town. I mean, just some amazing people. And then coaches were Skip, Dwayne Beetle Bailey, and Smoke Laval. That 1 year that I was there has kept me here for 34 years because I grew up in Oklahoma and my family was in Oklahoma. And, I've been here, raised my family here, got grown kids now. And, this is home. And I could not be prouder to represent LSU and all the great memories. And, we'll definitely do that at this banquet.
It's a much-deserved honor, and it's exciting for every LSU baseball fan. I was just a kid watching those teams, but I remember it's interesting, Lloyd. I know we're going long, man, but it's one of those things where when you're a kid, baseball is one of those things where when you lock in for every game, you remember every starting lineup. You remember you have that recall, and so. That was a huge part of my childhood, man. Going to the box on a Wednesday night or Tuesday, watching the middle three, and then going after practice and going home and doing homework and getting to bed and weekends, just the whole thing. So it's there's a lot of people I know today that are smiling, that are happy to share the honor with you, and glad that you and your family get to experience. So congratulations, man. We sincerely appreciate the time today.
Thank you very much. I left one guy out that my son just called me out on, and I shouldn't have left him out because he's a good friend. Is Rick Green. And it is posted all over Baton Rouge on a newspaper. in their 91 celebration. So, thanks for having me on, Matt. Love talking about the time that I was here and love being a part of this community. Listen to you all the time.
Hey, Lloyd, one story I have heard plenty is Rick Green tell the 92 Olympic opening ceremony story when he bumped into George Steinbrenner.
Oh, I don't know if I've heard that one. No. You may have to retell it. You may have to retell it at some point.
Okay. I'm not telling it on air, which is I just ruined that for this audience. Right. I apologize. But you got to get Rick to tell that story to you, and I'll have him on the show to tell it. I'm not telling the story, but I'll have him tell the story. It's actually I every time I see Rick to this day, I call him Cat Daddy because of that story. That's a little hit. But anyway, congrats, man. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.
Yep, that's our pleasure. Lloyd Peever. I thought he was going to tell me when I asked him if he ever shook off Skip. So one of the things about that season when Lloyd was here, I was not going to bring this up to him, but he could have if he wanted to. He did take a ball off the face that season. And I thought he was going to tell me that was a pitch where he shook off Skip. Thankfully, that was not the story. Giving up a homer is fine. That's insult. That's not literal injury. But, y'all, I mean, representing LSU in the College Baseball Hall of Fame are Skip Bertman, Ben McDonald, Todd Walker, Eddie Furness. That's it. And now Lloyd Peever. That's amazing. There's more to come. Like, we know Alex Bregman and Aaron Nola and Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens. Like, they're all I'm leaving guys off, but you know what I mean. They're all destined for this as well at some point when their day comes. But just such an honor and really cool for Lloyd. Okay, I'm really, really late. Let's knock out a quick break. We'll continue. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Storm passed last night, and as so often happens, when a storm comes through and the rain passes and the clouds pass, it begets a beautiful day. And right now I'm looking out in these beautiful windows in Baton Rouge, and it is a gorgeous summer late afternoon here in Baton Rouge. So you want to get out in your lawn, your garden, beautify that space, enjoy your outdoor space, your own little Zen garden maybe. You could do it, and Clegg's Nursery can help make it happen. Beautify that outdoor space with some flowers, some patio pot, with your patio pots, your flower beds by the pool, whatever it may be. It's great exercise, great family activities together with your kiddos. If that's what you're looking to do, just make sure you bypass the big box stores and support a great local business like Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Lockmeyer, Shough, Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer, Shough, Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Man, thanks again to Lloyd Peever. What an awesome conversation. We'll have to have him back, especially the closer we get to that Hall of Fame induction. Just an awesome day, an awesome memory. A little nostalgic. I understand for a lot of people listening, might not have even been born in 1992, but that for me, was a time in my life where I was a kid, but old enough to understand sports. And, it's like he was rattling off the 92 roster like I could do the 91 roster. I mean, he mentioned Mook playing left. Well, Mook was at third. I mean, he's the guy who fielded the ground ball for LSU's the final out of the first championship in 91. Mook to Telechia at first. I mean, it's just, Mouton and right, Cordani and left. It was just Armando Rios in center. Gary Email was the catcher in 91. It's just, baseball is just one of those. Baseball is a nostalgia game. It's a romantic game. It's one of, I know I'm preaching a lot of you love it too, but I feel great for Lloyd. I met Lloyd Peever 15 years ago, maybe at an LSU football game. I was at a tailgate and friend of a friend, and he happened to be there and introduced himself. And of course, I knew who he was. The thing I remember about Lloyd mostly, he talked about being sort of a diminutive guy, not being 5'10", but Lloyd's hands are the size of frying pans. And I'm like, I don't know how with hands that big, how you commanded a baseball. But anyway, and he's always been super generous and gracious with his time, whenever I've bumped into him over the years. And just so excited for him and for LSU baseball fans. Congrats to Lloyd Peever, the 1992 National Player of the Year, an undefeated season at LSU, 14-0, a sub-2 ERA. That we here are sort of conditioned to remember teams based on what they did in Omaha, and obviously 92 fell short of Omaha, but it was as you mentioned, was the sandwich, right? 91 and 93 were the championship years, and 92 was the year that they missed out. But there was still so much. I mean, that was Todd Walker's freshman All-America year. We hit 400 as a freshman, so a lot to remember about those teams. Now, two members of that 92 team, Todd Walker and Lloyd Peever, now going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame, which is awesome. All right, it's After Further Review. Thursday show is presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm going to move a little quickly here because we went along with Lloyd, but I don't care. That was great. One thing that we're going to keep an eye on, and I asked Lloyd the question, if you caught the interview with Lloyd Peever there a minute ago, in a different era, like how might his career have been different? Shame on me. I should have booked him for longer. We could have done a whole hour. I could have talked to him. What I meant was, in the NIL era, transfer portal era, how might your career have been different? And he took it a different way, which is fine, which is why I like to leave questions open-ended, because oftentimes that allows the interviewee to talk about the thing where they feel guided and directed, and the thing that they're interested in. But right now, Ross Dellinger tweeted this earlier today. The Protect College Sports Act has passed the Senate Commerce Committee and is expected now to head to the Senate floor. Look, if you did youth legislature, you know how our government works. Basically, a bill has to get out of committee, then it goes to one member of the legislature, and then the other. If it passes, or in this instance, Congress, Senate, and then House. If it passes both, then it goes to to be signed by the executive branch of the president. So a long way to go. I will still be very surprised if as it is currently constructed, the Protect College Sports Act passes. I know most people seem to be in favor of the Protect College Sports Act because you want some type of structure around college athletics. Very obviously, the TV revenue component of that bill is a major bugaboo for the SEC and the Big Ten, which is why they do not want this to move forward. If you're the SEC and the Big Ten and you have all of the biggest brands in the sport, and that begets you this windfall of cash from the networks because you have the brands that the networks want to pay to televise, then you don't want to dilute your shares by then sharing that money with the Big 12 and the ACC. Like, I don't care that Iowa State wants a share of revenue. Your LSU and Georgia and Bama and Tennessee and Florida and Texas and Oklahoma and all the biggest brands. Like, I'm not really concerned with what Utah wants or UCF, Duke. You don't matter in football. So I'm conflicted here because I can very, very much understand and appreciate the desire that everybody has for stability. And the best way, it seems, to create stability would be to have federal legislation that would supersede the individual states that all have different rules right now if it can be mutually agreed upon. I still maintain, even better than that would be the adults in the room abiding by NCAA rules. It's really that simple. It really, really is that simple. Look at what just happened with Brendan Sorsby. Ultimately, Texas Tech got so much pressure that they said, kid, you can't play here. And so he's gone. He has nowhere to play. If the adults in the room, meaning the university presidents and chancellors and athletic directors, if the adults would say, we are voluntary dues-paying members of the NCAA, there is an NCAA rule book. If we violate a rule and we are punished, we will abide by and accept that punishment. If the schools would just accept those things, all of this stops. But everybody wants the best players to play because they want to win games, and so it's become really litigious. And because of antitrust, every student athlete that goes to court effectively is going to win their court case. So you keep suing so that the Chamblises and the Pavias of college and Sorsbys of college football will retain eligibility. And I know I keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again. And LSU is going to have a similar situation with R.J. Lewis. And R.J. Lewis should not play basketball at LSU for the same reason that Chambliss and Sorsby and all these, like, there's an NCAA rule. You broke the rule, or in this case, you didn't break a rule, but there's an NCAA rule, which is if you sign a two-way contract, an NBA contract, including a two-way contract, you lose your eligibility. So R.J. Lewis has no eligibility. He signed a two-way contract, but they're going to go to court and try to get an injunction and try to let him play, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you why he shouldn't over and over again for the same reason why Brendan Sorsby shouldn't play and Pavia shouldn't have played and why Chambliss shouldn't play and so on. But the adults in the room have to be the ones that are willing to step up and abide by that. And so far, they've proven unwilling, which is why they keep asking Congress to do it. So we'll see if this actually passes. But be careful what you wish for if you get Congress involved. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We're live at the Spine Center in Baton Rouge, locations all over South Louisiana. So you have back pain. Put back pain behind you. SpineLA.com. SpineLA.com. Set up an appointment. They have so many minimally invasive procedures where you're talking like the size of a pinhole incisions where people are at the beach with their kids the next day after a procedure. Don't live in back pain. Come see our friends here at Spine Center. SpineLA.com. SpineLA.com. All right, it's After Further Review, y'all. We're going to roll along here. Jimmy will be here in 15 minutes for Otterlocks. We're looking forward to that. There's a crazy MLB draft proposal out there right now. Plus LSU basketball got a commitment today. We've got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. So we'll roll along here. Stay with us. It's AFR.
After further review.
Buying or selling commercial or residential, think real estate, think Darren James, agent225.com, agent225.com. That's where you'll find Darren James, and that's where you'll find every home listed by every company all in one place. And, of course, what I tell you about all the time, that very convenient home value tool. It's a great resource at agent225.com. If you're thinking about selling your home or you're just curious what your home would appraise for today, you can find that out for free in a matter of seconds at agent225.com. And the differentiator with agent225.com and then someone like the national ones like Zestimate and stuff like that is agent225.com. The algorithm uses local market data, so you're going to get a more accurate reflection of that price. Agent225.com, agent225.com. Just hit the home value tab, type in your address, boom, in a matter of seconds. You'll have a more accurate home value. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team
that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Yeah, I think there's 2 schools that really come to mind at the forefront when we're talking about Marcus Spears Jr. That's LSU and Texas, and there's certainly going to be some others, but let's talk about why LSU and Texas. The LSU ties are obvious. His father played football there. His mother played basketball there. He's been there. Now, obviously, they've had a coaching change with Will Wade, but he's still a massive target for them. And then with Texas, that's a home state school. His older sister, Carrie, is a star volleyball player there. They have made him a priority from the get-go, so they are all over him and certainly involved.
That's Eric Bossi from 24/7 talking about Marcus Spears Jr., of course, the son of Swagoo, who's the number one player in the country. He's an LSU target. Looks like LSU, Texas. He did mention, by the way, however, one sleeper school for Spears Jr.
Now, one school that we've been told to keep an eye on if they decide to make a full-on pursuit for him is Arkansas. Obviously, John Calipari is known for getting in and being able to be involved with any big-time recruitment he wants. He hasn't really pushed the gas on this one just yet, but if he decides to, he's another one to watch.
One thing that is notable is that Marcus Spears, Swagoo, senior, has said that Junior is a one and done. Like, he's already declared it. He's a one and done. He's going to go somewhere, play 1 year. He's going to make his NIL money, and then as soon as he's eligible, he's going to jump to the NBA draft. So I don't think that scares away Will Wade in any way. And he's a guy that certainly isn't going to give a hometown discount. He's going to get what he's worth. And the question is, does he want to carve his own path, stay in his home state of Texas, or play and be a legacy where both his dad and mom played? Marcus was a two-sport guy, and then Aisha. If you remember, on the LSU women's basketball team first Final Four team, Aisha was a starter and a star forward on that team. The team that lost to Tennessee 52-50, or was it 54-52 in the national semifinal, the Final Four game in New Orleans. So Aisha was on that team, and great. Obviously amazing genetics and a great family and all that, but does he want to carve his own path or come to Baton Rouge? One certainly to follow, and a reason LSU's in the mix there because of those great ties. So we'll follow that one. Notably, Will Wade did get a high school commitment for the upcoming class. This was announced earlier today. Hunt wrote about it over at LouisianaSports.net. 6'8" forward Jordan Bender is the latest commit for LSU here. He played for Northside Christian in Florida this past season, so he'll join the LSU roster for the 26-27 season. So he's a signee for this, or a commitment for this year when he signs. So, one of those guys that, as Will Wade talked about as he was building the roster, they're going to invest, as he said, in the top 6 or 7 guys that are going to be the contributors. And then you fill out the roster beyond that. This feels like one of those guys in Bender, who, as a 6'8" forward, is a project who will come to campus, develop, and not be a guy that you're going to pay a bunch to get here. Will Wade talked about that when he showed up on John Rothstein's podcast, where he talked about how the mistake he made a year ago in his first year at NC State is he paid too many guys. So at LSU, they're going to concentrate their financial resources on the top 6 or 7 guys and fill out the rest of the roster with guys who are going to stay and develop. Not that dissimilar from what Lane Kiffin's doing on the football side of things. All right, I do want to talk about this proposed legislation for Major League Baseball, which could dramatically affect the future of the MLB draft and, by extension, college baseball. Let me first remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Driving over here today in my brand new Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport, my 3rd consecutive Atlas, although this is the Cross Sport, so 2nd consecutive Cross Sport. But I've been driving a Volkswagen since 2011, when I first started endorsing South Point Volkswagen. And I've driven just about everything from Passat and the Cross Sport and the Atlas, and just about every model that you can imagine over at South Point Volkswagen, because I love the style, feel, performance of luxury. It's suitable for our budget. Erica drives the Atlas. I drive a Cross Sport. We practice, we preach. Pop open our garage. You'll see 2 Volkswagens in the garage right there at the Scone household, and they came from South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Shop them online at southpointvw.com. southpointvw.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? If you missed this earlier today, Major League Baseball has proposed, as part of the new collective bargaining agreement, disallowing high school players from being drafted. Basically, they would have to be 2 years out of high school or 20 years old. This would be amazing for college baseball. When you think about all of the great players that LSU has signed over the years in high school that never show up on campus, immediately comes to mind. Think about Jacob Mizorowski. I mean, can you imagine a team at LSU that would have Skeens and Mizorowski on it. Like, that would have been a thing if Mizorowski had to come to campus for 2 years. And we can dream. I also have, in conversations I had today, was told there's an ice cube chance in hell that ever happens, because that would have to be collectively bargained. And the Players Association, which has released a statement basically panning the idea, would never want it for a couple of reasons. I was told earlier today, again, I made a few phone calls about this, that 19 of the top 20 contracts in baseball right now are players that entered straight from high school, that entered Major League Baseball or drafted from high school. And if you cut out high school players in the draft, you would limit the draft, reduce the pool, the bonus pool money. And you're in effect now limiting, you're dropping the, I'm going to use the word cap here. The owners want a cap, the players don't. But it would drop the amount of money going to players if you did that. That's one. Two, if you disallowed players or banned players from coming into Major League Baseball straight out of high school and made them go spend 2 years at college, it's delaying by 2 years a lot of those guys starting their college careers. Think about Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin, what was the contract Connor Griffin signed? I mean, hold on. Connor Griffin's contract that he signed is 9 years, $140 million, okay? Connor Griffin's 19 years old, or maybe he's 20 now. Basically, he's in the show and has already signed a $140 million contract. Under this new proposal, he'd still be at LSU. He'd be in this draft right now, coming up in July. He would have just finished his second year at LSU. He's already signed a $140 million contract with Pittsburgh. It would delay all these guys from being able to get to a second, or even third, nine-figure potential contract. So it's a non-starter, as I understand it. You'd love it for college baseball. I just have been told from people associated, and the MLB Players Association released a statement basically panning the idea that it'll just never happen. So we'll hope there isn't a work stoppage. We'll see how it affects college baseball, as we all are intimately aware and concerned with. Okay. Final break of the show. We're here at Spine Center. Thursday show is presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Blasia and her staff are awesome. Check them out. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Final break of the show. Jimmy's here for Otterlocks next.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Man, actually, as I'm sitting right here, I can see Renaissance Baton Rouge. I mean, it is right there. We're here on Bluebonnet, and I mean Renaissance is right there. Giant building on Bluebonnet near I-10 across to the mall in Perkins Row. Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge. Casual, upscale dining experience. Chef Reed has redesigned and reimagined the menu. I got to go over there a couple of weeks ago, and they brought me samples of like 15 different things. Got to eat like a king. It was amazing. But great opportunity to go have dinner, get reservations, business lunch that's affordable, tastes great, convenient for everybody right there on Bluebonnet near I-10, or maybe a cocktail after work. You can go hang out in the terrace, indoor-outdoor flow there, Tallulah, the bar area. It's a great spot. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge. It's right there on Bluebonnet. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Paris brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Paris Construction and Roofing.
ParisGroup.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team
that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana.
Better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. lainsurance.net. Tell you all the time, whether it's for your home, auto, umbrella, flood, whatever insurance you carry, they'll shop for free some of the top-rated carriers in the world to find you better coverage for less money. Stop overpaying. But also remember, at Insurance Network of Louisiana, they can handle your business insurance as well. So it doesn't matter if you are, they crush it for restaurants, by the way. If you're a restaurateur, you need to have Insurance Network of Louisiana shop for your insurance. But it doesn't matter. Restaurants, auto dealers, banks, anybody. Better coverage for less money. Improve your bottom line. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana help, and they're local. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We have been at Spine Center on Bluebonnet, and we appreciate our friends here at Spine Center so much for hosting us. So hospitable and a great business. It helps people every day. You know, to get rid of back pain, they can help you. SpineLA.com, SpineLA.com, SpineLA.com. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, 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 Otta, what up?
We've been better after last night.
Last night was a rough go, friend, but that just means it's time to get back on the horse and get back in the winner's circle.
Let's do it. We are down in one of them. Aaron Nola's given up a home run and an RBI double. Top of the first, Mets still batting 2-0 with 2 outs. Got the first 2 guys, but Soto hits his 3rd career home run off of Aaron Nola, so it was a best matchup. I would be fond of, you get a great price now, recommend the Phillies are scoring runs. They're kind of creeping a little bit back into contention behind the Braves right now, looking for a sweep to not a sweep at home, but they've been rolling. They've won the first 2 games earlier this week against Marlins, so they are swinging the bats well. Sean Manaea should give up some runs, so I would still recommend it, even though they're down 2-0.
All right.
Yankees laying a price. Chicago White Sox have been one of our teams to kind of follow this year. They've been one of the big surprises in Major League Baseball, tied in the American League Central, but it's been all home and away. The home and away splits are unreal, and the Yankees are now 9-4 without Judge, and they are pounding the ball right now. Look for them to continue it. They have scored 22 runs in the first 2 games. They'll score a lot tonight against the White Sox as well. Taking the Yankees minus the price there. And then the Angels going with the dog there. Soriano against Gage Jump, former LSU Tigers. So A's kind of hitting a little bit of a little turbulence as of late. That's a nice price coming back in Sacramento. We're going to take the Angels on the road, who have been hitting the ball as of late.
All right, a 3-pack on the diamond. The Phillies, the Yankees, and the Angels are the 3 Otterlocks for tonight. Ruffino's tomorrow?
Ruffino's tomorrow. One thing we were right about, lay the multi-run line, huh? In the Oklahoma-Georgia games, it's the wrong team.
Oh.
I think Georgia's going back to try and redesign their ballpark, man. They were like, they could not figure it out at the plate. Yeah, Ruffino's tomorrow, man, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have Nigel Seeley. Nigel Seeley, who was featured on Pat McAfee show today. He'll be live from Boston tomorrow covering the World Cup over from England.
Awesome, man. I know Max will be locked into to the golf as well. So
yes, just a tad.
We'll be keeping an eye on it. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks. Same to you. That's Jimmy Ott, of course, live at lunch weekdays 11 to 1 with Ott and Hanny. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Hey, Father's Day is here this weekend. Take care of Dad. Or if maybe you're dad and you have to throw your own party, whatever. But go get some meat to throw on the grill just because you don't trust anybody else to do it. Meat to throw on the grill, something cold to drink, maybe a few cold pops. They got great selection over there. Whiskey for dad could be a great gift. Maybe your chips and dips and desserts, cakes, all of it. They got it covered over there at their bakery. It's Rouse's. 76 of them. 76 Rouse's locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. Jimmy was mentioning there the Georgia, and just such a great offensive team. One of the really impressive things that Skip Johnson in Oklahoma did, and talking to some folks that are, let's say, well acquainted. Oklahoma they pitched in. They jammed Georgia hitters. They pitched them in. And if you miss, and you miss over the plate, they're going to hit a long way. And that happened a few times. But if you pitch them away and you let good hitters get their bats extended and get comfortable, they can do damage. And Oklahoma took a very different approach against Georgia, and they just decided they were going to just throw it at their knuckles. And they were just not going to let him get that bat extended, and it showed. So the ballpark, you could say, is part of it. And I'll deny that, but Oklahoma hit 5 homers. I mean, the ball was flying. I think Skip Johnson, who is has the reputation of being one of the best pitching coaches. I mean, he was Texas's pitching coach before he took the job at Oklahoma. Is now the second time he's gotten Oklahoma in the College World Series finals. Of course, in 22 lost to Ole Miss, but Skip Johnson did a masterful job. He deserves a giant hat-tipping round of credit for getting Oklahoma where they are, because they are not the best or most talented team in the country, but they are playing the best, and they had a plan. They executed it to perfection against the team I thought was going to win the national championship in Georgia. So congrats to Oklahoma, but I am not pulling for you at all because I am not a cheer for the conference guy. The two things I wanted was for Georgia to be eliminated, so LSU's 1997 national championship home run record of 188 stood. That's good. And I want anyone but the SEC to win the national championship because Oklahoma hanging a banner, adding one to their trophy case, does nothing for the Tigers. Kick rock, Sooners. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Shaw Bill's Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over Louisiana. Shaw Bill's Tire and Auto Service, where, of course, they'll sell you name-brand tires at wholesale prices, and they'll keep you coming back year after year after year because they treat you like family. Past few days, I've been introducing you to Danny Klein, who's the GM of the Burbank store, and over the coming days and weeks, I'm going to be able to introduce you to more of the great Shaw Bill's employees that treat you like family at the locations all over South Louisiana. But the bottom line is you got to have tires, and nobody likes buying tires. What Shaw Bill's does is they commit to getting you the best price possible. It's part of the Charlie's doesn't. Buy tires at Shaw Bill's, see them advertised cheaper somewhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. They're going to get you the best price on tires, but they're going to treat you like family, and that's what will keep you coming back year after year after year. It's Shaw Bill's Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Hi, this is Beth Torina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.